Kravets. If you have not followed his Triple H horse racing podcast, you're missing out. It's one of the best podcasts in the country.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the HHH Racing Podcast, Weekend Warriors Edition. I'm Ryan Anderson, hosting for the day. Howard Kravets out at Keeneland. He'll be joining us in a little bit, I think from the new, is it the Dogwood Room? And, of course, join co-host for the day, Matt Miller. Matt, what's going on?
We're ready to go. All excited. You almost timed this exactly with Oaklawn's race. It was pretty close. That would have been I can't put the audio on anyway, but whatever. It's been an interesting day. This is a heck of a grade one gamble card. All sorts of curveballs being thrown at people left and right. Some of us getting clunked right in the forehead with those and others hitting them out of the park. And we'll talk about all that good stuff. There's also some other tournaments going on at Twin Spires. So for those of us craving action like me, I'm in a whole bunch of those still. So we've got a lot of stuff to root for aside from our buddies in the grade one gamble.
Absolutely. We'll check in with the grade one gamble crew shortly. I think Howard is, I can see him on the, in the waiting room. He's currently talking to Chris Couples in the paddock, but the Wi-Fi has been so bad down there. He's, we aren't going to go to him, but horses are in the paddock. They're leaving. We'll check in with the grade one gamble real quick. Just in terms of the leaderboard, Howard just sent it to me. So we'll check in there. I'll try and share it up on the screen and I'll see if that works for us here. But Matt, just from what you see, we're talking in the pre-show, there seems to be a runaway leader at the moment.
Yeah, at the moment. And, you know, just to say it before we get rolling, rough weekend for me in terms of it is tough knowing that maybe legit half of your friends in the world are in one place together having a good time. And here you are in your basement. You know, it's always nice hanging with you, Ryan. And I'm thrilled to see Mike Saletta and Dave Duncan and Terry Frank and other friends who aren't in the room also in the chat here. So that feels better. But yeah, we all know, especially those of us who are a little older on the other side of having kids, you can't go to everything. You know, it will be there next year. And this was that for me, but still played. I'm out. We can talk about that in a little bit, but the overview of the leaderboard, absolute tournament giant, Christian Helmers jumped to a big lead with I'm guessing that was an all-in bet, about 10,600 or so. I think you got it on the screen. Yeah, he just bet the heck out of that 7 who barely got up, but got up by enough to get him to 30K. As the show goes on, we'll talk about, is that lead safe? You know, what should other people behind him do? I can tell you that Brad is not just going to sit there in 8th place at $10,000. So I don't think 30 is enough to scare everyone away, but it's scary. That's a big, impressive number. That's maybe a few grand higher than what I would have targeted for the tournament. So this is definitely one of those where I'd have to be, you know, tweaking the screws and adjusting targets and that kind of stuff. So yeah, if I hadn't busted out when I did, that would have been a tough leaderboard to look at and say, man, I've got a lot more work to do than I thought I did.
Yeah, the 30K is a big jump with 4 races left. Horses are just exiting the paddock, going onto the track. This is a maiden special weight race, and then we have the grade 1 Jenny Wiley. Then we have the grade 3 Lexington, and then we have another maiden special weight race. So not the easiest races. A couple big scratches out of the Jenny Wiley that we'll talk about in a little bit, but no real heavy favorites to kind of push or shove all in on. I think Sagesta in the next race, the 10 horse, probably going to be a pretty heavy favorite, but it's kind of by default.
Yeah. And look, you all know, those of you who know me know what I tend to look for. The overview on this card is that there was a bunch of really challenging maiden races that, you know, I personally look at, whether it's Keeneland or Kentucky Downs. I almost look at those kind of races as a perk for insiders, where they seem to be the only people that know what's going on. Those of you who watch that 9 horse take all sorts of crazy money. Yeah, they knew. It's absolutely one of those cases where they knew. I'm not saying Equine Edge is the Bible on anything, but I think it had the 8 horse at 80% or something obscene like that. And yet you watch this 9 just taking this first starter, taking all kinds of money. Okay, in that one, it was so obvious. Maybe I should have jumped on the bandwagon, actually, but I still didn't want to do that with maidens. And I think there's a lot of contest players that don't want to do that. So it didn't leave us with that many choices. you therefore saw huge pushes once we got out of the maiden races. I was able to escape the first landmine. I got hit by the second one. I don't remember the horse's name, but I had the 2 horse at 8-5. He had just struck the lead at the top of the stretch, and he got run down by that 3 horse that was about 7-1. I had played him in all-in daily doubles, $2,500 a piece, into the next 2 favorites, the higher price of which did win, and that therefore stings even worse. Okay, but being realistic, that would have put me on this leaderboard, I don't know, 3rd, 4th right now, with an awful headache about what the heck to do. This is when this game gets really hard. The game theory, all that stuff. And the fact that this ends in a maiden race, we'll see. It just, our friends at Twin Spires have done a nice job of adjusting some of their contests to make the last race the big race. I'm not being critical of any other tournament directors or tournaments, but yeah, this is one of those where it's not quite the big race. It's a really tricky maiden race, and we'll see what happens.
It is very tricky, but we'll go to somebody who's trying to navigate that right now. He's down, I think, around 25th, but plenty of bullets left to fire. We're joined by the main host of this show. It's Howard Kravets from the Dogwood Room. What's up, Howard?
What's up, everyone? How are we doing? Thanks for watching, enjoying the show. We are going to do some work from the paddock, ladies and gentlemen, but typical racetrack Wi-Fi is a little bit shaky. Hopefully you guys can hear me. It's a beautiful room here, the Dogwood Room. Give a little bit of a view. Oh, there's a Kelly Dornan in the background. How about that? What's up, Kelly? He's doing well. And Kylie. Hi, Kylie. Anyway, it's a fantastic room, guys. I'll turn it around and I'll show you the paddock view. We have plenty of time to come back to me. So we're not going to be able to interview trainers and jockeys, guys. It's just the internet is really shaky out there. In terms of where I am, in terms of the contest, I made a very aggressive all-in play 2 races ago. A lot of people lost it, but I did need dynamic pricing there. I've got about 3,500 on one entry, and I'm allowed to do a double to the 12 here on the other entry to get back to about 500 or 600. I had $30, Matt. I was down to that other entry. We've seen crazier stuff. Just ask Skippy, who's right next to me here, of what you can do with $30. You never know. So anyway, I do need the 12. I do need to make a bet in the next few minutes, guys. So I'm going to be very quick right now with this hit or segment. But in terms of this race, certainly the number 3 right timing is probably the horse to beat. I think this race is much more difficult than the Tampa race. It's a deeper race. She does have a race under her belt, though. I'm very interested in the 12. I'm going to play Al Gadir. I hope the distance is not too short. I just saw her in the paddock. She looks good. She does break from the outside, but this is not like the most difficult field in the world. I'm hoping the 12 can tuck in a little bit. Had a little bit of trouble on their debut, guys, at Churchill in November. I know it doesn't look like it's a fast race, but again, those were 2-year-olds early in their 2-year-old season. I think she has every right to improve. You guys can show the breeding if you have the PPs of number 12, Al Gadir. Some very nice horses in the pedigree. And I also just emailed you guys the contest link so you can show the Grade 1 Gamble contest leaderboard and talk about that. I'm going to sign off for now. I will talk to some people here in the room. Maybe get some interviews from people that are close to the leaderboard. Go ahead, Matt.
When you come back, I think I'm speaking for the audience. Do a little walking around. Show us the room. Show us kind of what they've changed. I think, we'd be curious to see what that all looks like.
I'm absolutely going to do that. Just not quite as much time right now to do that at this very moment. Why I'm not, but we'll absolutely do that. Thanks for watching, everyone. You guys, I check for texts now and then, and that's all. Signing off.
BHP out.
BHP out. All right. We are about 3 minutes away. I won't let me do a quick audio check for this race, and can't hear anything yet, but it's because they're not talking. I will say, pedigree-wise for this race, he was mentioning the number 12. It's by Gunrunner out of an Include mare. I like the 12 a lot. I'm against this 3 completely, and I think the board, Matt, I know you're probably taking a look. The 3 is the Chad Brown horse, who was bet down to about 4-5 on debut and is currently 9-5, given, this is a tougher field. Can we hear this?
Not yet. No.
Uh-oh. Okay. I'll fix that. It's an interesting race. I don't think the money is going towards the 3 the way I thought it would. I thought the 3 would probably be closer to even money, and maybe that'll change. I haven't looked at the will pays for this race yet. I have a little bit of interest in the 1. Ben Colebrook trains this runner, second-time starter. I know not for you, Matt. I know not for you.
Well, it's funny. I did a pick 6 to back myself up when I got kicked out of the contest, and I'm still alive, and I do have that crazy 1 horse in there. But as I'm looking at these will pays, the 3 and the 12 really, especially in the double, took it on the chin pretty good. And I'd say those are pretty big standouts. I'd say for people watching, let's ruin Howard's price on the 12. We're going to bet that pretty good right now.
Ruining the price on the 12. I love it. I mean, it's one of those races where I do think that the 12 is kind of the clear alternative. And I do like that horse. You know, ran a comparable speed figure back in the fall of last year when this filly was 2 years old. The 3 ran a number a couple points higher, but as a 3-year-old. So I know none of that necessarily means a whole lot to you, though, Matt. And you kind of go off of the odds boards and we approach it with a different way, but we are both kind of ending up on the 12 there. But I do think the 1 is interesting. And then I think is it the 8? I probably should have written these down.
I'm sitting here with 1, 3, 10 on my ticket, and without the 12 on there, yeah, there's no way I'm going to listen to one of my most trusted pickers come on a show, give me a horse, hang up, and me do nothing about it. That is not how this works. I know he's too good for that. His ROI numbers are too good for that. No, Terry, not in real life. I'm not going to ruin his price. I'm not betting enough money to do that on a day like today anyway. I mean, if this was Yonkers at night, that would be extremely possible. But for what we're doing here, I'm just going to take a little piece of this 12 with him. And frankly, I'm not sure until I know what happens with the rest of this pick 6. I don't know which I'm rooting for. So we'll just see what happens.
I love it. Let's do an audio test. If they decide to talk at some point here in the next coming seconds, let me know if you can hear. They've not talked yet.
I was just going to say, I hear nothing. We can just look at each other if we want.
We can just look at each other and admire one another. That's fine by me.
Or let the audience think we're looking at them. That's
exactly.
How nice. Okay. Good to see you all.
So nice.
All right. So what do we got? 0 minutes.
Got 0 minutes. They're loading in the gate right now. The 2 is going in, followed by your favorite right timing, the 3. And they are almost halfway loaded because they do the nice and convenient kind of double load sort of system there, which I love that they do. It kind of speeds up this process, especially with the maidens.
Let's have a passive aggressive 1-sentence rant and say, how nice is it to see different colors on the saddlecloths?
Oh gosh. Well, can we hear this?
Yes.
Here, Sparrows of Fair.
Fantastic.
I thought that was the voice of Jim Goodman about to yell at me for saying that.
Start of the late pick 4.
I don't know if you should get used to it though, because the next up is the Jenny Wiley and the Lexington, and I don't know that they have different color saddle towels.
Here's a bell.
It
Algadir will be the last one.
You saw, I put on Twitter, there was like in some foreign country they were racing water buffalo.
Takes a spot in the gate.
And they had a chalk line. And so when they crossed the finish, you could see what happened. And it's like,
Walks up,
we can't even do that here. This is crazy. Here we go.
And they're off. There goes La Rascasse right out for the early lead from the outside. La Rascasse to the front. Divine Passion is there. Pharaoh's Affair between that pair is away running in 3rd. Rose of San Antonio is 4th. She's R10. Between horses 5th. Bell goes 6th. Right timing is 7th. Down toward the inside. Algadir is 8th to the far outside. Epic Proud Mary moves up 2 spots from 9th into 7th.
That?
Then a gap of 3 lengths back to Hey Winnie, who is 10th from the inside. Arcana and Let's Chance It wide at the back. Last of the 12 as they head for the far turn. Divine Passion is the leader. Divine Passion, Pharaoh's Affair. They go 1-2. They're separated by a neck to the far turn. La Rascasse to the outside, and Rose of San Antonio back to the inside in 4th position. Algadir has to go wide, moves up 5th to the outside of She's R10, who's between horses in 6th. And then Bell is in 7th. Right timing is 8th, down toward the inside. 8 lengths off the lead as they round the far turn. La Rascasse swings up from the far outside, just over a quarter mile to go. Up to challenge Pharaoh's Affair for the lead. Divine Passion to the inside. Algadir has to go toward the center of the track. Bell is on her outside. She moves on the grandstand side. Right timing, had to come off the rail and move about 5 wide at the top of the stretch, still far back. Larascas has the lead. Bell is alongside Larascas. Bell, Larascas. They're matching strides as they work their way past the 16th pole. It is Bell from the outside. Larascas is game and fighting on from the inside. Larascas, Bell. Larascas resilient for Axel Concepcion.
Woo! Still alive in that pick 6. That's a price.
Oh, you really love it. 6-1.
All right.
Keep it rolling. Only there's about one person on the planet that backs up with a pick 6, and he's sharing the screen with me right now.
I also backed up. We'll talk about these other Twin Spires contests, but gosh, today would have been a good day to just have a buddy over who wanted to say, just show me how you do this stuff and what you think about it. I mean, it started with all the scratches in the morning and everyone freaking out and if someone had said to me, how much do you care? My answer is, I feel badly for owners and trainers that expected their horses to run, but I don't care at all in terms of the contest and how all that works.
Right.
I didn't have rock solid plans for how this was going to go. And so, I just kind of, move with the tide, and that's that. And, but this has been a tough day, especially with these maiden races. It's been tough to string multiples together. And so I started small with the $100 tournament on Twin Spires. There is a bit of irony here. I did hit big in that tournament. And if I was still considering myself part of the tour, this would have been the day. I got up to a big balance, but I had already tapped out and said, I'm not doing this. And so it's funny. I called a couple people and said, don't worry when you see my balance. I am not going to go haywire. I've already said I'm out and I'm done. But okay, that tournament's going pretty well. At some point, an opportunity presented itself to jump into the $250 tournament with a semi-hedge on the other tournament. That's now going well. And when I got to the grade 1 gamble, that's a really hard one to hedge. So I basically had the 2-horse and I took all the prices in the opening leg of the pick 6 and just figured, okay, we'll see what happens.
I have a comment on the screen from Mike.
Mike,
Carmoli?
I would, in a heartbeat, would do that. And it's funny, I do an awful lot of this. First of all, if you're in the Chicago area, in a heartbeat, I would hang and have a good time talking about this stuff. I also do a ton of this on the phone on the driveway. That's not a joke. I love talking about this stuff with people. There's all sorts of people on the leaderboard that you'll see that it's hard to explain. Just I think a lot of what I've said is just kind of common sense approach to these things. And yet without there being some ambassador out there to talk about tournaments and how they work, there's definitely intimidation factor. And if you could just make that go away, well, yeah, it's not inherently that intimidating once you get what's going on. And so being able to talk to someone and ask some questions and test some things out. I've got a different buddy today. He's pulling a total Drew Coatney. Took out, I'll be Howard for a second. He took out his pad of paper and wrote out what he would have done if he was double entered in the grade 1 gamble. I said, write it down. This is kind of like when you're studying for a test and you're looking at flashcards and you're like, oh yeah, I know that one. Bullshit. Say it out loud. It's the same thing watching Jeopardy. It's amazing. You're watching, you think you know the answers. If you and the person you were watching with had a rule that says you have to say the word, trust me, you're going to get half of the answers that you thought you had. Well, it's the same thing with tournament strategy. Don't just sit there saying, oh yeah, I probably would have had the 7 in that race. And BS, commit, write it down and figure out where you make your mistakes and where you're good. And boy, there were some interesting mistakes to be made today. I certainly stepped in one of them, but I still feel good about especially that 3-horse that got off to that bad start. I still can't believe he's the one that came back to bite me, but
of all the horses. Now, you mentioned Drew Coatney with the yellow legal pad and, writing down everything. Howard Kravets joining us again with none other than Drew Coatney. What's going on? Drew's looking fly in the sunglasses.
Sure is.
We got Drew Coatney here, BC champ. This place brings back a lot of warm memories. I will turn the camera on to show you guys more. Drew cannot hear what you guys are saying, by the way, because I've got the headphones. So if you guys have questions for Drew, you'll have to ask me, guys, and then I'll translate. But generally speaking, it's been sort of a rough day for Drew today, but great time. I had a chance to meet his parents. By the way, before we talk more to Drew, Brad Anderson is alive to a double into the next race, and he's a serious threat right now in the contest. So, Matt, why don't you, or Drew, let me just ask you, because they'll be able to hear you because of the headphones. Okay. Pleasure to meet your parents. How you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing great. I mean, parents are here. The sun is shining now. And, yeah, we're alive in the pick 5. We got a turf pick 3 as well going. So nothing could be, no complaints here.
You guys have a question for Drew, Matt or Ryan?
What was the horse that did you in today?
What was the horse that did you in? Where'd you lose the contest?
The Authentic and Conquering or Conquest. The
same race that we went out in, Matt. The Authentic Strike Conquest Warrior race.
I was left with $1,200. I was lined to the 8 for in the 4th race. The 8 for $5,000 and $1,200 would have allowed to implement my strategy perfectly. Got nosed out. Had $1,200 left and had to skinny up a little bit and go kind of 7-7 in the 6th into the 7th race. And no, that's 7-7, not 6-7, you two. Although I was in the pick 5 for 6-7. So that was a little bit of a bummer, but it was the right play. Trying to win a contest, not trying to collect peanuts. So now we're just having fun betting with my parents and having some drinks now.
Tell people what you think of the Dogwood Room here, the new facility. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's very impressive, isn't it?
It feels like you walk into a country club where there's a bit of a hush and you feel a little awkward yelling. So I'm trying to break the ice after the second cocktail of the day to start rooting on some 6-7s.
All right, I'm gonna go and I'll do a little quick watch for you guys. Are we good? We have another race to show at Oaklawn. Are we good for another minute? Maybe.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go.
All right, thanks, Drew. Appreciate your time, man.
Thank you guys.
So we'll let Drew go here. I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera on here. Give me a second, guys. I'll just give you a glimpse of the room here. There we go. So I'm walking. We're literally just walked in. This is you guys can see that pretty well.
Jim
this is the Dogwood Room. There's Jim Goodman right here live on YouTube. How are you doing, Jim? Jim, great. Thanks, Jim. Live. So this is what the Dogwood Room looks like, guys. It's very nice. You can see. And then here's the view of the paddock. I mean, it's amazing. We're literally, I know there's no horse out there right now, guys. Actually, there is one. I mean, you're literally, I look down, there they are parading, guys. I mean, it's right outside the paddock. You don't even have to really go out there to see what's going on. But again, this is the Dogwood Room. We can't take you into other rooms. You have to have a ticket for that. They're very specific as to where you can go in the Dogwood Room there. But this is where the contest room is, guys, and it's really nice. TVs, the whole thing. So there you go, guys. There's the Dogwood Room. I'll switch it back to myself here. And there you go. So I lost a little in that race, by the way. I'm down to 2,800. I do not have an entry now, or the other contest entry. I'm out. I played a all-in whopping $50 double. It actually would have gotten me to like 1,100 or something. But anyway, I have one entry left to 2,700. Not the best shape that I'd like to be in, but not dead yet either. So we shall see. I'm going to let you guys take it from there. We'll be back in a little bit. Race 9 coming up, the Jenny Wiley, guys. Fantastic race, but some big scratches. Suggest a 6-5. That is awfully low, gentlemen. And talk about the race, and we'll be back. Thanks, guys.
All right,
checking in with the chat real quick. Jackson Muniz joining the show, but can someone send a lock? Yeah, the 6 in the last race. Terry Frank, very nice. Is that where the BCBC will be in that room? Yes, that'll be fun to see the BCBC go on in there. And Amanda Couples checking in. What's up, Amanda? Wife of Skippy. All right, let me throw the past performances up on the screen for the next race. I do not know.
What are those?
Matt, as you can tell, very familiar with with these. Let me get this a little bit bigger for the screen.
Trish, to answer your question, that place, along with Churchill on Derby Day, is broken up into so many different rooms and sections with color coding needed on your ticket for whatever. And they have like the nicest people in charge of the doors that you would never argue with or try to sneak by. These are forever employees that are just doing their jobs. And yeah, there's rooms that require jackets. There's rooms that, regular kind of dress casual's fine, but it's a little tricky. And some of them are private rooms that get rented out. So, I don't know that Mike Rapoli's there this weekend, but I'm not sure he'd want randos like me and Ryan walking through there. So yeah, I'm not sure I'd call it tight security, but they do a good job of keeping people where they want to keep them.
Absolutely. And there's no hospitality the way Keeneland does it. I mean, they do it in just the best way. When I was there over the fall with Skippy and, Jack, everybody, we were up in the third floor somewhere, and the Wi-Fi wasn't working in the first half of the room, and we migrated over, and someone came to check in on us, and we're like, oh, well, the Wi-Fi wasn't working over there. And they're like, well, let's get some tables for you. And they moved about 7 tables over. I mean, it was like it was our house and we were moving stuff around. They're great out there. But let's go to the grade 1 Jenny Wiley. They're going 8.5 furlongs on the grass, 7-2 right now for the rail horse and Expensive Queen. Obviously taking a lot more money with the 2 big scratches, Destino Doro, the 8, and Lush Lips, the 7. So that's going to kind of spread the money around to some horses that probably would have been better prices had those 2 stayed in. This one, obviously, a big shot. And Brendan Walsh at Keeneland, you can never discount. This filly has a win, or mare has a win over this racetrack going back to the stateside debut in Allowance Company. Luis Saez is pretty much the normal rider, aside from the Gamely Stakes out west where Kazushi Kimura got the mount. Fast market, a little bit interesting, just because coming off of a win and a very strong buyer speed figure that competes with these. Took the winner off down in New York. John Terranova ships down here. Probably not shipping for nothing. I think this filly can run a little bit. She's not in my top 5, but certainly I've seen worse 33-1 shots where, she's run speed figures very comparable.
And she's not in Flavian's top 2.
She's not in Flavian's top 2. That is an excellent point. Juan Hernandez out here from the West Coast because Santa Anita's on a break this week. Juan has 1 winner already on the card. I believe he won the opener today. And Maduro comes in. This is not a horse that I'm itching to bet, although 9-1 is not an awful price. As I'm trying to adjust just so we can see the Lasix lines. This horse runs well, but doesn't have a run over the track. Very honest, though. As you can see, 13-14 in the trifecta. So maybe one for those reverse tri-key players. Maybe one of those you can throw.
Oh, it would make Howard so unhappy if we sit here and work out trifecta plays and pick some long shot to clunk up for second or third and hit this, and he'll wonder, he swears none of us play trifectas without him. So that could be kind of fun.
In fact, before this race goes off, I think, Matt, you and I need to have a reverse tri-key that we just give out to the people. That'll be fun. The number 4, Pin-Up Betty, 4 career wins. 3 of those have come over the Churchill Downs turf course. So probably one that likes it there a little bit better, but has an honest second here over the course. And then a 5th place finish here in the First Lady last fall by less than a length. Edgar Morales was aboard that day. Today you get Joel Rosario. Dynamic pricing, 1 of 2 Chad Brown entries. This one comes off of a lackluster performance in the only run over the track here at Keeneland in the First Lady last year. That's a bit of a red flag for me, especially for a guy like Chad Brown, who he's not going to send horses that aren't going to run. This horse maybe had a little bit of trouble in there, but was much farther back than anticipated. And you can see, but prior to that effort, this is a very hard trying horse. Maybe something went wrong, had the entire winter off, and now comes back here. Very possible this one rebounds. You do see Irad Ortiz for Kravets stables. This is the reverse tri-key horse that I'm going to have. Is the number 6 Deep Satin. You still get 12-1. This is a hard trying closer, and she can be a little bit tactically placed. Comes out of the Goldakova out at Del Mar. That wasn't my favorite race of all time, but you do know Cherie DeVoe points towards this Keeneland meet in the spring and the fall. So all of her runners are well meant here. For her to bring this mare back, in a spot like this, she likes Keeneland. 2 seconds in 3 tries, could break through with a good performance. You see the 2 scratches.
And before you keep going, if we're talking about trifectas and betting those, I love the finishing column for this horse. Right, 5th doesn't bother me. 4th doesn't bother me. 2nd, 1st, the horse is right there every time. And I think if you're looking for an underneath play and a try, this is exactly the kind of horse you're looking for.
I think so too, because hard trying horse and is always right there and has those speed figures to compare. You know, that Ballston Spa effort, maybe that was just a summer at the Spa type of effort, but that effort puts her right in the mix. Again, the 2 scratches. The number 9 Aussie Girl, Will Walden, just won the last race. Entered here. This horse could get loose on the lead. I just don't know if she's going to class up to them. She would have to take a big step forward, but speed always dangerous. Lastly, your current favorite, 3-2 on the board as I look right now at the feed. Sagesta comes off of a Grade 1 Matriarch win, won that race by 2 lengths over some decent opponents in our time. AG Bullet, who maybe more of a sprinter, so I don't know how much weight you want to put into the class of the Grade 1 Matriarch, even though that's at my favorite track of all time at Del Mar. But 2 back, had a good second in the First Lady Stakes behind Simply in Front, who for Eddie Keneally that day had a great trip and a great ride for, I believe it was either Saez or Morales. Keeneland, though, suggests is 2 for 2 in the exacta out here. So you do like a filly or a mare that loves this turf course. That's always a big upgrade. Matt, the downside is 3-2, even money. That's a little bit low on a horse like this, who really just has one number that stands out versus a very, very competitive group.
Yeah, it's taking like all the patience I have to say something like, I don't suggest a bet on this horse. Sorry.
Well, you ran out of patience, and you did say that was pretty funny.
I did as best I could. I let you finish at least. As I'm looking at the will pays for the doubles and the pick threes, the thing that stands out to me the most, and I want to make sure I'm not missing something before I say this. I recognize that there were 2 scratches of low-priced horses. Mm-hmm. So there is a bit of a fallacy on the part of a lot of us when you see, I'm looking at the one horse in particular, when you see 8-1, and then you see it's bet down to 3-1, there is a tendency to say, oh, that's getting some money. But keep in mind, Lush Lips, Destino Doro, we're both going to take a ton of money here. I still think relative to the 10, the 1 is taking a bit more money than I would expect. And so I think for purposes of a try bet, my preference would be to put the 1 and the 10 on top and not try to split hairs that way by picking just one of them. I think, I haven't looked at the probables. I'll click on it. The one with, so the 1 and the 10, and who's our horse we're looking at? The 6?
I said the 6, yeah.
So yeah, the 10-6. Holy cow, that can't be.
What does it say?
Yeah, we're all right. No, that's the double. Okay, I was going to say this is not possible, and we're going to be rich. It's a 20. It pays $27.
Okay.
With the 10, it pays 60. I'm saying it pays 50 with the 1. So the way I would play this, and if you want to say I'm taking away some of your fun with this, that's fine. But those exactas are plenty good in my opinion. And so I would be splitting half of the amount I'm about to bet on those 2 exactas. And I would then be taking, maybe I'll take all for that second spot, but I will then press up very quickly with the ones that I like the most for second, with those other horses for third. Obviously, it's a major bonanza if we get the winner, second, and third. You've now hit the try, you've hit the exacta. So you have given yourself a chance to hit both if your choices for second and third are right. But okay, so let's figure out.
We'll go back to Howard. Howard's ready
Hey,
to
guys.
talk with us. It's Mr. Reverse Strikey himself. How are you doing?
If you guys hit a reverse strikey on the show with some kind of bomb in second or third, that'd be great.
That's what we're
I'll
doing
tell you
right
what.
now.
All right. A few quick things. First of all, Brad Anderson will come on after this race, guys, to talk about where he's at, which is going to be a fascinating conversation, not only because Brad's a great guy and a close friend of all of ours, but he is very much in the mix of this contest to get in, I think, the top 6. Just a quick update. I don't know if you talked about the prizes available. Top 6 get DCBC. There's 309 entries. That might be a record, Matt. I'm not sure, but top 6 get BCBC. The next 10, top 10 get NHC. So if you're in the top 6, you get both. Next 4 also get NHC. And then there's like 3 or 4 more after that get KDBC. Plus, of course, 65K down to et cetera. Again, you guys can look up the prize pool situation. I just want to chime in on this race a little bit and just people give some food for thought. I didn't have a chance to go down to the paddock, but I'm looking at it. right now. First of all, Suggest is way over bet, guys. I mean, I liked actually picked her on the show on Thursday before all these scratches, which are big with lush lips. It feels more like a default kind of 3-2 to me, guys. Like people don't know where to go, Ryan. And like, well, we'll just go with the Chad. And she's a nice horse, but that seems awfully low. Number one. Number two, I'll tell everyone what I'm going to do, and I don't think anyone is really. There it is. You're king. You know what, Matthew? It's very interesting that you're talking about the 6. Very interesting.
All right, you approve.
Matt, I like your opinion, and Ryan, feel free to chime in. I know you're starting to get in the contest too a little bit. What I'm going to do here, guys, I have 2,700 left, and I'm not afraid to say it on live here because I don't think anyone's really afraid of me. I'm probably in 180th place, or actually it might be higher, but who cares? Anyway. I have to play minimums, guys, in each one of these races. Now, this is my backup entry that I'm alive in. I'm on plan B, Matt. You know that plan very well. I'm on plan B. So I have to play $400 minimums. I do not want to go all in because I have a very strong opinion in the last race. So I'm betting here. I'm not just playing minimums, though, because I do have to make moves. I'm betting about 1,000 here, which if things go to crap, I'll have 1,700, Matt. And Ryan, what I'm doing, guys, is I'm playing a lot of exactas that I'm Dutching to try to win about 2,000 or 3,000, get into the $5,000 or $6,000 range. And then my plan is to do a minimum in the next race and go in the last race about 5,500 and try to smash it. That is my overall plan. So Matt and Ryan, first of all, your thoughts on that plan, number one. And then number two, just to let people know, I'm basically doing Dutch exacta boxes with the 1, 5, 6, and 10. Okay, so I need the 1, 5, 6, or 10 to come first or second. I'm a little worried that the 9 gets loose and hangs on for second, but I don't think so. So I got that 6, Matt. What the only exact I'm not doing, guys, is I'm not doing the 10-5 because the 10-5 is the lowest and I can't afford to do it. So I'm playing that on the side. I'll be quiet. Actually, keep me on the screen. I'll let you guys talk. So the strategy in terms of the dollars, Matt and Ryan, and then the strategy in terms of the bet I'm making and excluding the lowest exacta. Go ahead, guys. Your thoughts.
Yeah, look, I would say it to you right there in the room next to you. Without regard to the races or the numbers, I would simply ask, based on what you just said, do you feel that 5,500 is enough entering the last race to do what you want to do? And you seem to be nodding, saying yes. And so great. Then you work backwards from there like you did, and it's a perfectly good plan. I think the step that some people miss is not doing the math in the last race, and they come up a little short. And so as long as you're comfortable with that number being probably good enough, I like it.
And what about the actual bets itself, Ryan? I'm playing Dutch exactas in a race where I just not sure what to do, but I like this race more than Lexington and the next race, even though the next race is actually a smaller field. But that means also Ryan's going to yield smaller payouts also, in theory, right?
Yeah, in theory, but it's a really tough race in the Lexington. But I think you have more consistent and horses you can trust a little bit more here. So I love the plays. I think Matt brought up a good point. The one's taking a lot more money, which I think is a little bit telling here than maybe the Will pays would suggest. It doesn't surprise me that the Chad Brown exacta is the lowest paid. That seems to be the way people kind of default is, hey, it's Chad Brown. Let's bet them both in a turf race. That being said, if 10-1 is paying better than 10-5, I mean, I love every bit of that. And then, of course, you mentioned the 6 Deep Satin is in there somewhere for you, so I have no complaints on that one. That's the Matt and Ryan reverse tri-key of the day. So
I think there's by the way, Paul Halloran and his good friend Bob. They're busy right now, so I'm not going to interrupt them, but they're saying hello here, and we have look who's here, Matt.
Terrific.
Oh, look at this.
Terrific.
2 of our favorite people in the world live on YouTube on Weekend Warriors.
Terrific. 2 of our favorites.
There we go. They're saying hello. So yeah, we got a lot of people here. How you doing, Kelly?
Very good, man. Hi, everybody.
Hey, what's up? They say hello. I know you can't hear them because I got the mic on, but okay, you were plenty loud, Matt, so they could hear you. So it's all good. We got Chris Couples here as well. What's up, Chris?
Hey, everybody.
There we go.
Matt Miller.
A lot of people in the contest room, guys. And again, here's the paddock. It's just absolutely gorgeous, guys. It's just another beautiful day here at Keeneland. So I'll sign off. There's about 7 minutes to post. You guys can talk more about the race. 6-5 on Suggesta. You guys might want to go to the leaderboard too at this point, talk strategy or not, or go to oaklawn, or you guys are the host of the co. So bye for now. Thanks.
Okay.
All right. Have a good one, Howard. oaklawn looks like 25 minutes till race 8. So they have a little bit of time. Race 8 is their first of 2 stake races. So we will go there after this race at Keeneland. It's the grade 3 Count Fleet, I believe. And you have Tejano Twist, who's just an awesome horse. Running back in there. I haven't seen the current odds, but I can't imagine it's at the 6-1 morning line that it was posted at. Let's check in with the leaderboard real quick. I'll throw that up on the screen. And then, Matt, let's talk a little bit of strategy here. 3 races left. The Lexington, if you have a strong opinion, fantastic, but I can't imagine that many people do, with that being a list of kind of some up and comers. I've refreshed it recently. I'll do it one more time just to make sure nothing's changed. It doesn't appear that anything has. I had to check the rules as I looked at this, because I saw someone bet 8 minimums, but I guess you only need to bet 5. Someone just has covered 8 races, I guess.
Yeah, and look, the person's in 4th place right now in the grade 1 gamble. So the last thing I'm going to do is say, oh, that's a horrific mistake. I tend to advise not betting every race and try to pick your spots a little bit, but like I said, who's going to argue with someone in 4th right now? So whatever Phil's doing, keep doing. You're having a nice day. But yeah, this leaderboard is, without trying to sound disrespectful of anybody or anything, this is like, other than Christian up there at 30 grand, this is incredibly typical. This could be any year, a whole bunch of dangerous people with 10 grand. By the way, that means they've already made 4 times their money. That's pretty good. I mean, I think for most of us on a typical day, that's a pretty good day. And for a lot of these people, this is now where their day starts in terms of, now what do I do? So, but I would say otherwise, if I were still active in this, other than Christian's $30,000 number, which would make, my new target would be just a buck above that. There's nothing I'm seeing here that would cause me to do anything different from original plan.
Yeah, I like it because, if Howard can get to the 5,500, you really just need, what is that, about 5x in the last race, and you can get there. And exactly. I do think the last race, it's a difficult maiden race, but I do think it's a lot easier than the Lexington, at least on paper. And I do think that you can probably get some exactas in there. I have no idea what his strategy is, no idea what plan B is, or plan C, or plan A, or
it's funny that. I know that. No offense, Howard, I don't remember. I've talked to a lot of people about things they want to do. I don't, I'm always happy to give advice on if someone wants to put a plan in front of me, but I don't always remember what it is. So it's kind of funny.
One more look at the odds board, 4 minutes to post for the grade 1 Jenny Wiley. And they do have different saddle towels on, by the way. So let's just be happy about that. Terrific. For the time being. The 1 expensive queen, 4-1, same price now as the number 5 dynamic pricing, which great name for what we're talking about right now. Yep. I would take the 1 at these odds, just in comparison for the body of the work that the 5 has done. I think Brendan Walsh clearly points for this spot. Not to say Chad doesn't, but Sagesta kind of taking that default Chad money. I do think the 1, as you mentioned, taking that early money talks a lot here. And I think outside of those top 3, the 2 would have to run massive. I forgot the name already. The 2 is Fast Market. Would have to just really kind of class up and take a step above. Not sure he's got that, or she's got that, excuse me. Medoro, another hard trying one. That's maybe another kind of reverse try key if you believe in that horse, but I believe in Cherie a little bit more. So that'll be our reverse try key, Matt. But how would you approach this if you were, say, I don't know, hovering around maybe the $5,000 mark with these 3 races to go, and your target is now 31,000?
Gosh,
not to put you on the spot.
No, that's fine. The reason I'd be playing the last race is that it has nothing to do with being easier to pick or anything like that. I think the additional information that the leaderboard gives you is incredibly valuable. And, I could easily, and I'm not picking on Howard. I'm actually going to, in a very positive way, say he's a very financially responsible person. He is not a win or die, or die trying. He's absolutely willing, when the circumstances are right, to say third place here would be great. There's a ton of seats, there's a bunch of money, there's all that stuff. And your ability to get a read on, first, it's kind of obvious where we're at, but for the rest of this leaderboard, and we'll talk about the prize pool at some point, it's a little early to be conceding anything, but I think if you wait until the end, you'll have a far better sense of what you need to do. And you'll get a sense if you're taking too much risk trying to chase first. And maybe if you take a little less risk, a top 10 finish is well within reach. No disrespect to someone that makes that choice. My strategy, without making fun of Howard at all, is to say, I don't want to get to the last race with $5,000 because I don't usually have the kinds of opinions that can be bet effectively with $5,000. I need more than that. And so I would have had to get to work earlier in the day. But when you look him in the eye and say, is 5,500 enough for what you want to do? And he thinks about it and says, yes. Okay. I'm sure he's got some, kind of like our horse in this race. I'm sure he's got a horse that he's targeting for, I think if my recollection of the race is right, there's 2 decent favorites. I'm sure he's not on either one of those with a win bet. So I'm guessing he's going to be playing exactas. I do hear that.
Perfect. I would think so. I do think that you can play probably some stronger exactas. I'm going to play that reverse tri-key just a little bit, have a little bit of fun and got to have some fun while we're on with everybody. And if a reverse tri-key hits with Howard in the grade 1 gamble room, that's going to be even better.
My God, he couldn't believe it when you had that posted on the screen that we were really talking about that. That's too funny.
It's too good. It's the Howard method. They're loading into line, dynamic pricing going in.
Queen, and now dynamic pricing, and now fast market moving into line. Deep Satin walks up along with Maduro.
Just being selfish, please root. Besides for our tri-key.
Aussie Girl comes forward, also
1, 5, 9, 10.
Cool.
Sagesta, the last one, walks up.
9 would be ridiculous, actually.
Yes, it would.
Goes in, they're at the post. They're off in the Jenny Wiley. There goes Expensive Queen from the inside, right out for the lead. Aussie Girl is there from the outside, and Sagesta is forwardly placed as well. Aussie Girl moves by for the lead well before the entrance of the first turn, clears the inside traffic, and works over closer to the rail. Sagesta will go second, a lane off the rail into the first turn. Expensive Queen will be third here early on. Maduro fourth between horses. Deep Satin 3 wide in fifth. Pinup Betty is sixth, back toward the inside, sixth by only a half length. Dynamic pricing starts to draw alongside of her from seventh. Fast market, last of the 8, opening quarter, 23.1 seconds. Onto the backstretch they go. Aussie Girl, the leader. Aussie Girl on top by 3/4 of a length. Sagesta just off the leader's flank and second by 1 length. Deep Satin is third to the outside by a neck. Expensive Queen fourth back toward the inside. Maduro fifth in between that pair. Dynamic pricing is toward the outside and sixth, running 6 lengths off the lead. Pinup Betty to her inside, and Fast Market still last, opening half mile in 47.46 seconds. Aussie Girl takes the field to the far turn. She leads it by just over a length. Sagesta still there and once again starts to move up toward the outside. A closer second. Deep Satin wide again on the far turn this time in third. Maduro is fourth and moving up between horses. Expensive Queen is looking toward the inside. There's a 1/4 mile to go in the Jenny Wiley. Aussie Girl with Sagesta coming after her. Maduro third. Expensive Queen fourth. The rest still have work to do. Here's Sagesta for the lead into the final furlong. Maduro second on the outside. Expensive Queen going to try to squeeze through an opening down to the inside. Maduro's there from the outside. Sagesta between that pair. Sagesta, Expensive Queen, then Maduro third. Dynamic pricing runs late at the wire. Oh, that's tight. It will either be Expensive Queen or Sagesta in the Jenny Wiley.
Jeez. First glance, that looked like Luis Saez was able to get up the rail and just get in front. I wouldn't feel the most confident calling that. But
no, I don't suggest to making a call there. And they're showing the 10 actually.
They are showing the 10 right now. They're going to go down once again. I will turn that off. Did Maduro get third in there?
Was it the 3? I think the 3 got up there at some point. Yeah,
I was going to say Deep Satin ran well. It was just a little bit too wide. Maduro was that other one that, it was either one or the other. I chose Cherie. I'll stand by that. 3 did get second. It looked like the 5 got fourth. They're down on the line. Ooh, 10 got a really good bob too. I have no idea.
Felipe's calling the 1.
I also thought the 1. It's gonna.
I mean, this is just so ridiculous.
That was a horse race down to the wire, though.
Weren't we just talking about how nice it would be if they had like a laser on the screen? Think about like at the NFL where they have the first down line. Just some sense of where the angle is. It would be so simple. Very frustrating.
So our chat, I think, is maybe a little bit ahead. I got 2 people in the chat saying dead heat.
Well, do we have the volume off? No, he's not saying that yet.
I have not heard dead heat yet. I mean, it was close. They have not posted a winner yet. I will bring on Howard right now.
Wow, what a race, guys. I think the 1 got the bob, guys. I think the 1 got, they're showing the 1, but they've been showing the 10. It could go either way. Fantastic ride on the 1 there. It's funny, I talked to Patrick Kunzel's right by me, and halfway down the backstretch, guys, I said, this looks like 110. Just because the 10 was sitting perfect, the 1 was sitting perfect. Our sneaky 6 guys didn't get the right trip. She was 3 wide, just didn't work out. I'll tell you what's brutal, guys, for Paul Halloran started Matt and Ryan, our great co-host of Picks and Ponies, played an all-in double starting with the 10 here, and I think he's going to get nosed out. We'll see. It could be a heater. I think it's either a heater or it's 110, guys. I just don't think the 10 outright beat the 1. Is that what you guys thought?
I thought the 1 got it.
We thought
first glance.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
But watching back, the 10 got a good bob.
I'm rooting for Paul at this point. Let's get a dead
right.
Yeah, something.
Selfishly, guys, I do have it both ways, so it doesn't matter to me, really. I think I prefer, well, this is going to sound rude because I want Paul to stay alive, but from a contest perspective, I think a lot of people probably played the favorite Matt and Ryan, so I don't know if it matters much, but I think from a contest perspective, selfishly, I'd want the 1. They're still looking at it, guys. This what a fantastic race.
This is taking a while.
The 3 ran a monster race, by the way. I didn't really like Medora here.
So we talked before the race. It was the 3 or the 6. They're both hard-trying horses. How about the final odds, by the way? 5-2 on Expensive Queen. So got the odds adjusted back down. 3 went off at 7-1. Also went down a few ticks from what she was sitting at.
You know what, guys? I didn't love the 1 like early in the week, but I felt like there was some confidence with the barn, and then with the scratches, and then the way the board was playing Ryan, it almost felt like you had to play the 1 a little bit in this race somehow. Plus, with the pace out of it there, Ryan just figured she would just set a perfect pocket trip, which is what she did. They're still looking at it, guys. Of course, I'm live here in the Dogwood Room, covering the Grade 1 Gamble. Matt Miller is here, Ryan Anderson. They're doing a great job here on Weekend Warriors. Dead heat. What would that do for the contest, man, Ryan? Does it matter really? I suppose it does, right?
Oh, well,
38 Jenny Wiley
Dead heat. Heater.
Wow.
Heater.
Well, that's what they're saying. That's what they're saying here. It is a dead heat. I guess they're saying it's a dead heat. Wow. Dead heat. This is going to be, we've never seen this in the Grade 1 Gamble in this situation. So Paul stays alive, but it's weird, Matt, because now he's going to get like not even half of his money. So now in my situation, I have it exacted as both ways. It's probably going to pay a little bit less, but not much. Yeah. So that's actually okay for me. Doesn't really affect me too much. I got to believe, though, if people had doubles like Paul, they could be done too, but it's a weird feeling, Matt and Ryan, right?
These are the curveballs you get in a contest where, right, you're planning on a payout, and whether there's a scratch at the gate, whatever.
For you.
So yeah, Paul's going to have more work to do, but I'm thrilled he's still alive. And yeah, Howard, I agree with you. If you touch your exacts, you should be okay.
We got Chris Couples, guys, in the background. I'm going to show you. I don't know if you can see a lot of win bets on the 1.
Wow.
But he also had. So Chris is right here. Go ahead, Chris. They can hear you.
I had a 10-1 exact saver too.
So I don't know what that'll make, but he's going to not put me at my number. So I'm going to win and lose at the same time here, and have to regroup.
There you go.
Part of the game.
Chris, wait in the dogwood room real quick, and just this whole building. Pretty cool, right?
Super nice. I know it is super nice. It gets you out of the crowd some, going up and down for some reason. You know, I like it. I don't like not being able to step outside and see the track. But
by the way, the one would have been better for you, obviously, right?
Oh yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'll tell you what, though. I thought the one won watching it, so I guess I don't know. But anyway, great job using those two horses. Yes. Yes. All right. So. Very weird situation. I'll let you guys take it back. Matt. Let me find out. Actually, he said he was going to come on, but I don't know if he wants to come on this very moment. Let me ask him, guys, and I'll see if he wants to come on.
You
guys want to programming guys? You want me to bring him on programming wise? Matt or Brad? You don't have to come on if you don't want to, but Matt, he's going to come on. All right. There's the big guy. Hey. Brad Anderson. Brad, I can hear you through my headphones here. Say hello to Ryan Anderson, Matt Miller. Weird situation there. Was that good, bad for you, indifferent? What do you think?
So I had a minimum double, the winner being the 10. I also started double with the 1 into the next race to the 2 favorites. So I guess, I'm going to get diluted on, I was going to get about 1,200 on this double. I'll probably get maybe 700, 800. But then I'm alive to doubles in the next race.
So does this change? So we have Paul Allen in the back. We'll get Paul on. Does this change your plan, Brad, now going forward?
No, I mean, the question I have now is I played 4 minimum, so I have another minimum. The question is, do I want to cover more than the 2 horses I already have in the next race, in the Lexington? Or just pass it, see what the number is, and then just, do the exacta in the last race.
So, Brad, you can't hear them, but Matt, you want to respond? I'll tell what you said to Brad.
B.
What was that, Matt?
B. He gave us 2 choices. I would take
choice. Choice B. He said use the second choice. Anything else, Matt? Words of wisdom for your guy here?
I want to see what the odds are on this double that I'll get.
Okay.
In race.
I would just say to Brad, like we were talking to viewers, that the benefit of getting the extra information from the board at the end.
The benefit of getting the board at the end.
Makes it worth waiting, I think.
Makes it worth waiting.
And I've got the 2 favorites in this race. So, unless I like another one, I'm not going to, waste any capital on those horses.
Can I ask you one question? Well, I was going to ask you if you're trying to go for first. I mean, Culmers has a huge lead. Is it goal top 5? Would that be fair to say? BCBCC top 6? Or are you a bigger aspiration? So you rather not say.
We'll see.
We'll see. Okay, there you go.
I mean, my number going into today was 35. So
there you go.
Christian's at 30. I don't think that's out of reach.
Yeah.
So I think I'll, look at 35 and say, can I get there? If not, then I'll adjust down. But right now I'm going, as our good friend Matt taught me, you go for the win. You don't get these opportunities very often. And you go for the win.
There you go. Ryan, we're hearing some of the best contest players in the world. Brad, great job. Thanks. You survived that. Keep it going. Keep it up, man. All right. It's so nice that, Matt, you've been in the situation. It gets intense in here. Just people are willing to come on and talk here. Now I've got our good friend Paul Allen. We can do this a little more formally here. Paul, there's a weird situation there. I know you can't hear them. I'll translate what they're saying. Could have been worse because I actually thought you lost that photo.
Yeah.
You're still alive, but now that's going to change your plans. Obviously.
Well, I got to sit in this race and then, see if I can come up. If I win this race, come up with something in the last race. But, the idea is stay alive till the end and anything can happen.
Talk about the dogwood room. Sorry, hold on, guys. Hold on. All right, go ahead. Thought on that, Matt or Ryan? I'll I'll tell Paul what you guys said.
I was just going to remind him, as a former Grade 1 gamble winner.
Remind you as a former Grade 1 gamble winner.
He's done this before. And
he's done it before.
He knows exactly what he's doing.
You know exactly what to do. You've done it before.
So
there you go.
That's all he needs.
Quick thoughts on the Dogwood Room and, of course, spending time with the Doran family. It's been and the weather's unbelievable. It's a great weekend no matter what happens the next 2 weeks.
Absolutely. The Dogwood Room is really spectacular. And this building, as we thought it would be. You know, the weather, I know you love talking about the weather. It's like your favorite thing to do in life. The weather has been unbelievable. Tomorrow, by the way, 90. 87 to 90 tomorrow.
Whoa. All right.
You might love your underwear in the paddock.
Yeah.
Wow.
And guys, I'll toss it back to you because we got a few minutes to a really fun race at Oaklawn. Gratefully is running for Adelphi Racing in the Giants Causeway tomorrow, $400,000 IRAD aboard, 4-1 morning line. She's the 5 horse. It's the third to last race of the day. I don't know the race number. We'll be here. It'll be our last race, and then we got to catch a plane. So good luck to our friends at Delphi Racing on a very talented filly. Gratefully tomorrow, Sunday, in the Giants Causeway. Ryan, take it back to you for the Oaklawn Count Fleet. Matt will be back to talk about contest play.
All right, good check-in.
Okay.
Got to talk to Brad. Got to talk to Paul. Seems to be a good one. Hey, a Delphi Racing Club in the building as well.
Cool.
So that horse Gratefully tomorrow is going to be very fun to watch, and we'll go recap the Jenny Wiley here in a second. But just ran out at Santa Anita last time, and then shipped out for Keeneland. Out there with Saratoga Special, an Irish bred horse who is out west as well. Also shipped back east to Keeneland for the race tomorrow. Saratoga Special has to draw in off the AE list. Gratefully, however, in the body of the field with a very, very big shot. Now let's recap the Jenny Wiley Stakes. I have the parimutuel payouts, or I had them on the board. They have now disappeared. But Expensive Queen paid $380, and Suggesta paid $2. No, I lost it.
Let's just say it like it is. The payouts kind of sucked.
Yeah,
but for those of you that thought you were on the horse that just got out bobbed, you're lucky to be alive. So I think this is just one, at least from my standpoint. Okay, if I could get away with just a little bit of dilution and not too much damage. I mean, we sat here. I mean, even the camera people went back and forth in terms of who they thought won. So
yeah,
I don't know. I'm relieved for the guys that they all kind of managed to stay alive. The fact that Howard had both. And Chris had, but it dilutes it a little bit. It's never quite the same, but it could be way worse. The harder part,
way worse. Go.
The harder part is they're now gonna have to like double their risk next time.
Yeah,
So if they were gonna take 4 exactas, maybe now they could only afford 2 or whatever. I mean, there's going to be a consequence from having less money, but obviously you'd rather have money than roll the dice on a photo and get knocked out. I think most people would have taken the dead heat there.
Absolutely. Suggesta ended up paying about 3 to 5, and then Expensive Queen maybe a couple ticks above. I think 4 to 5, if I'm doing my math correctly, which is a maybe this time of day. But
that's the rough one.
That's the rough one. 5 to 2 to 4 to 5 is tough.
That's tough. That's like, I mean, you really had a nice pick there. You saw Chris Couples' string of win bets like that.
Yep.
That was going to pay, and 4 to 5 is tough. Going from even money or 6 to 5 to 3 to 5. I don't know. I get it. Percentage wise, it matters, but
going from having that much to win on a 5 to 2 and that much to win on a 4 to 5, that throws your target off, that makes you have to regroup. 2 races left that doesn't leave you with a lot of opportunity and a lot of wiggle room. So, if there's anybody though at this point in time that can come back from behind the 8 ball, it's Skippy Couples. So
no doubt.
He has that working for him. We have Oaklawn coming up next. It's the Count Fleet going, I believe it's 6 furlongs. We probably pull up past performances as we're getting pretty close to post time, showing 0 minutes. The 5 is your favorite. That's Roll On Big Joe for Bob Hess. He's now kind of been stationed out in that Mid-East kind of circuit where running at Churchill Downs and Oaklawn Park for a lot of the fall and winter has been Roll On Big Joe, and he's run fantastic. He's a great listed grade 3 type of horse. He can can knock heads with all of them. He was outpaced and outran in the Grade 1 Bing Crosby out on the West Coast. And I think he's kind of proven that listed stakes Grade 3, that's right where he belongs. He runs very strong every single time he's out on the racetrack. So Roll On Big Joe, 3-2 currently, but has to be my favorite horse in training. Definitely my favorite sprinter in training. Tahano Twist, 5-2 right now. This race is loaded with speed as well.
Yeah, a killer race. My buddy Marshall Graham, I think, would look at a race like this as one of his favorites. These hard knocking dirt horses that just keep showing up. These are just solid competitors. I don't know. I don't look at horses and animals as athletes in the way you hear them described, but I actually kind of feel that way with these more experienced horses. These are athletes that are showing up with their game consistently. Roll On Big Joe. I mean, I've had every one of these horses, I feel like, in some contest at some point. It is interesting, speaking of contests, as we've got about a minute to go, there is you'll enjoy this. There is a $100 oaklawn contest on Twin Spires, where currently sitting 1-2 are me and Jacko.
I love it.
So we're going to be fighting this out at some point.
I don't doubt that. Will you guys be making moves right here? You don't need to tell me which moves, if any, but
is that like a moves reference to Zach Diamond or something? No,
just
here. I'm not playing checkers. I'm playing chess. I remember all the words to that song. No move from me here. This is just a good race. I would want to bet the 5, but that Tahano Twist is such a badass. That's just not a horse I want to beat me. I'd rather just watch and enjoy it.
I have a small double going here, 7 into the 9 in the next, just to have a little bit. Been waiting for most of the day for these two races going back to back. I thought Munnings Express in the next race, the 9, very good second out for Brad Cox. They're loading into the gate. I hope I still have audio here. Can we hear?
Yes.
Joe, fantastic.
Number 5.
Technology is great when it works.
3.
But more than anything, I'm never upset if Tahano Twist loses. He's just so fun to watch run.
All right, you try it this time. You say we're ready to go right when you think he's going to.
All right, we'll let Matt Dinnerman take us the rest of the way with the load and the rest of the load and the call. The grade 3.
You got to say it. You got to say it.
We're ready to
go. Oh, shoot. Lost my words.
Madhouse going right to the lead. Very speedy. Came out of the gates nicely today and clears off here Madhouse on the lead. So it's Madhouse up top here, leading by a length from Roll On Big Joe, who runs in second. Tough Catch third, and Booth usually towards the front of the field. Today he's stalking in the 4th position, 3 off the pace. Wendelson in the meantime is kept well off the rail, joining Booth. Gap of 5 to Dreamin' Blue, and Tahano Twist per usual takes his customary spot at the back of the pack. 21-4 that first quarter mile. Paco Lopez at Madhouse lead the way. A half length in front. Roll On Big Joe right there getting closer, and Wendelson 3 wide, still well off the fence. He's into 3rd now. Tough Catch retreats to 4th with Booth.
Big Joe's going to be tough here. Although look who's coming.
A lot closer, being asked to go on the outside. 6 behind, top of the lane. Madhouse, Roll On
45
Big Joe side
flat.
by side. Roll On Big Joe on the outside.
Just
Madhouse
watch the outside. Holy cow.
Madhouse, Roll On Big Joe, stride for stride in the final furlong. Roll On Big Joe, Julian Leperoux, narrow lead. Paco Lopez, Madhouse, still right there.
Oh.
These two nose and nose in a ding-dong battle.
Are you
Madhouse,
serious?
Roll On Big Joe. Madhouse repelling Roll On Big Joe. And it's Madhouse to win the Count Fleet Sprint Handicap. Roll On Big Joe second. Dreamin' Blue third. And Booth was fourth. Paco Lopez, David Van Winkle, gate to wire in the.
Well, despite the jockey being the worst person in horse racing, that was a great effort by the number 4 Madhouse to repel the likes of Roll On. Did all the dirty work and just kept going. You got to respect it. It's it's not what I would have liked to see. Tahano Twist made his usual move, just a little bit flat to the board.
Yeah, and especially when they put up that 45.12, I'm thinking, okay, here he goes to the center of the track. Here he comes, and yeah, not so much this time. I mean, that's kind of what you get with closers to some degree. I also think these two horses on the lead, they seemed to embolden each other. One was not backing down or they seem to actually improve their performance rather than hurt each other's performance. The interesting odds movements to me, so first of all, if you told me that these horses were going to be that the 5 and the 7 were going to be 2 and 3 to 1, I would have lost my contest there for sure. Mm-hmm. So I thought the odds were going to drop. It's funny. The odds dropper was the 8, who came in at 7 to 2 out of nowhere. So I don't know. Is that computer money? Is that whatever? But it's crazy. I mean, I would have said to you a second before this race. So yeah, for sure the 5 or the 7. And that's why the rest of the horses run.
Yeah, it is. You brought up a great point, though. It was one of those races where the 4 and the 5 kind of emboldened each other, and they both kind of went on with it, and neither one wanted to give an inch. Jackson in the chat saying that was Jackson money on the 8. So
no offense, Jacko. We'll see. I don't know what he did.
But that's the kind of race where both of those horses could kind of bounce and regress out of that. They're probably going to come back with a very strong number. That could be one where, maybe they take a little bit of a step back in the next one. So going to be interesting to see. But we'll go back out to Keeneland now. We have the Grade 3 Lexington Stakes. Different color saddle cloths are on the horses. They're in the paddock. We'll go through from the rail out. Let me pull up the past performances, and we'll actually share it on the screen here in just a second. Let's see. Oh, playing the next rail. Okay. Maybe this will work.
Maybe not. Let me know if you need alternate forms of entertainment in the meantime.
It's okay. I think we'll make it happen. I'm just trying to not put the live stream up on the.
That would be a good thing to do.
Here we go. Okay, we're good. It'll be up there right now. All right. Race number 10, Lexington Stakes. In my opinion, the toughest race on the day by far. Let's see if I can get this to be the right size. That's close enough. All right, from the rail out, the 1 Corona d'Oro, De Oro, I should say. 5 to 2 down from 8 to 1 morning line. That's a lot of money. That is way too short for my liking. I like this horse at the morning line, even though one of my best go ahead.
Life tip. So my buddy from law school owned a farm. It was spelled VAL space D''OR. Most people, at least in this country, that don't speak French or whatever that is, would call that Val Dior. He says, no, you don't say D, you say duh. So it's just Val d'Or. There's a place down the street called D'Agostino's, same thing, D''. But this one's weird because it does say de, like the Spanish from. So, but when you see D'', you should just know for the future, just say duh, not D.
That's good to know. But yeah, this one, DE. So mind if I speak a little Spanish here, d'Oro. But Corona d'Oro. Look, those last 2 races are very strong, especially the 2-turn race. But coming off Lasix, I don't know that I can endorse that horse at 5 to 2 or 3 to 1 right now. That's just, it's much too low for my liking. But in the contest, I guess you like to see a horse taking money like that. That shows that the horse is live. I guess I haven't checked the will pays quite yet. The 2 is a long shot, exhibition only for Rudy Rodriguez. Should be noted, he sends the horse down here after a winter campaign up at Aqueduct. So certainly a vote of confidence. The number 5, Mr. T. I pity the fool who bets on this horse, to say the least. But coming in from a fall campaign at Indy, gonna need to step it up big time though for the 3-year-old debut. The number 6, Ramblin'. I won't talk too much about that one. That's mainly a turf horse going on. I won't ramble on. The number 7, The Hell We Did. I actually like this horse a little bit. 9 to 2, excuse me. I think is a bettable price if you like it. You get Luis Saez, who we like to joke around is hard to pass in the stretch. So coming off of a strong run at Sunland Park for Todd Fincher, comes out here, has to switch off Lasix. Going to be interesting to see. The number 8, Trendsetter for Ben Colebrook. I like this horse a little bit underneath. I do think Ben Colebrook can fire some strong shots, and for horses that I trust, the list is very short in this race. the one absolutely could run back to those figures, but off Lasix, if he regresses, he's probably not going to be anywhere. We see that, all the time. The 2 and the 5, the 6, I don't trust them a whole lot. Ben Colebrook, I think, can absolutely hit the board here at a huge price. The number 9, this is the number 1 horse I've been looking forward to betting against the entire day. Ran off the screen at Colonial NHC weekend, Matt, but I think beat nobody and went so slow that day. I want no part of this horse. I don't know if you maybe have a different view.
I just think it's really unpopular to be yelling "Easem" the entire race. That's a tough name. I don't know. I try not to be too cruel about it. Look, I'm with you. This is a tough race, and the will pays. By the way, I don't know if you were done. Did you finish with the field, or do you want to?
No, we have a couple more, but I wanted to just give you a second. But real quick, I'll just confessional. Currently, your favorite. 3 good runs. In the mid to upper 80s in terms of buyer speed figures. I don't love the Virginia Derby as a whole for the horses that have come out of that. Of course, that was the Howard Kravets hang your hat on the grittiness reverse tri key to win a tournament that day. But outside of that, I like Incredible, I think, going forward. But Confessional had the opportunity to do some running and just really didn't. And then last one in the field is the number 11. I did. For Mike Maker, Juan Hernandez. This has been a consistent sort, but definitely needs to take that step up, take that progression. Matt, we'll go to you now.
Tough race to trust anybody, in my opinion. I don't think this is the race where the very best were being sent necessarily due to consistency issues and things like that. So, okay, look, when you're in a contest, it is what it is, and you got to play the races they give you. It's who's coming up with winners. The concept of value in a contest is a little different because, that Suggesta from last race. All right, forget the dead heat. Let's just pretend the horse went off at even money and won. Well, you could just sit there saying that's terrible value, but at the end of the day, you could have doubled up your balance if you fell for it. So the bottom line is you only get these races to play this contest. And so, as we're nearing the end, and I want to get to the point made in the chat about the risk of playing doubles towards the end of a contest. So this wasn't, you're right about your point. Thankfully, in this case, that's not what happened. There is one race left, so they will have one last shot to adjust. But you're right. If that dead heat had just happened in the second to last race, these people would all be totally screwed now with no ability to adjust anything. They'd be locked into these half or slightly less than half payments because there was a dead heat. So it is a good reason to keep some flexibility. So yeah, good point there. For me here, so as I look at the will pays, trying to get some kind of instruction, this is weird. I mean, they're not even fully consistent themselves. You have the one favored in the double. Although it's funny, as I'm looking, yeah, there's 2 double payouts because there were 2 winners. Yes. So the bottom line is I got to look a little differently at the pick 3. This does make a little more sense now that I'm looking at it this way. But the bottom line is the 1, 9, and 10 are all over the place in these payouts. Yeah. Maybe the 10 got the most money of the group, but not by a ton. And so, okay, look, you're playing a tournament, especially at these odds. I don't think you can even afford to take 2 of them. You gotta pick one. Look, if Howard's got a long shot in the last race, that double's going to be tempting to play. The question is, can you take the risk of locking yourself up? He did text us, by the way.
Yep.
12,300 is 6th place, which is the last BCBC seat. He's at 4,300. So he basically needs a full double up, or I'd say a triple up then to get to that spot. By the way, he just texted ready, so he might.
Yes, we're going to throw him in right now. Here he is.
Hi guys, you guys do an awesome job, by the way. Fun to listen to. Matt, I have to make a play here. I don't think I can wait till the last race. I am not going all in because I do have a strong opinion in the last race, and I'm going to play some doubles. And I know you don't usually want to play doubles into the last race, but you don't want to play all in doubles in the last race. So I'll be able to see what I'm alive to if I'm correct here, and then I can adjust. My thought is if I'm alive to the double, and I'm, by the way, singled to a horse in the last race, this is a 3x1 double. If I'm alive, if I hit that double, that would take me to around 7,000, 70, about $7,000, maybe a little more. Of course, I'd have to hit that double, but that gives me some flexibility in terms of that one horse I could smash up again with a win bet with another 3,000, or I could play a straight exacta. I don't think the last race is very deep. I will say that, which is unusual, Matt and Ryan, in a maiden special weight turf race with 9 or 10 horses. I don't think you have to go very deep, but I think a lot of people feel the same way. So I might even have to play a try, Matt, and maybe a 1x2x3 try or something thin, but practical. So we'll see, guys. Anyway, I'm 3x1 double to try to get to about 7,000. But it won't show up on the leaderboard. It's going to be hidden. I don't have a strong opinion in this race, guys. The 3 scratching, and Ryan could talk about the 3 because you do have about a minute, was a major scratch, I thought. The 3's a California horse for Dougie, who's going to show a lot of speed. Anyway, I don't love any clothes in this race, so we'll see. Good luck to everyone in the Lexington. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Thanks. So real quick on the 3. First, the 4 scratch that was in Forced Agenda. That was my original top pick in here. The 3 was a bit of a late scratched around, I want to say, race 2 or 3. I spoke with Doug. The state vet elected to scratch. And, while the horse is okay, there's no obvious injury. Obviously, we always do what is best for the horse. So he will run another day. He's totally good. So we'll see decisive win another day, but that was a big scratch. That was some speed in the race. You got a guy like Antonio Fresu, one of my favorites, just in terms of a personality. He's a ton of fun, and he's moving his tack out to Keeneland for a little bit while Santa Anita's on a break. And I was looking forward to seeing how he could have ran out here because I think he could have get maybe a little bit more action. I wrote down some mythical kind of contest plays, and I would love your thoughts here. Here's Johnny. I would love your thoughts, Matt, as they're approaching the gate. So if I had, I'll say 5,000, and just to make it nice and easy. I don't like the 9 and I don't like the 10. I would play 2 $2,000 doubles with the 1 and the 7 into the 6. I played a $500 double with the 8 into the 6, and then the same with the 11 into the 6. Or I'm sorry, a $250 double, 8 into the 4 and 6.
Okay. I would take the 500 of those doubles on the 8 and bet it to win because you'll be thrilled with 16 grand. That's true. It's just too huge a number to pass. You don't need to bump up your odds that much. It is funny, just kind of jumping all over the place for a second. We were reading Howard's mind. I knew he'd be tempted to play those doubles. I like what he said. Doing kind of a hybrid approach of dipping into the double pool a little bit.
And they're off in the Stone Street Lexington Stakes. There's Confessional from the outside. The Hell We Did kicks in between horses. The Hell We Did moves up and has the lead as they head for the first turn. Corona de Oro is going to scoot up the rail, though, and challenge for the lead. A Zoom forwardly placed. Caught a bit wide, 3 wide into the first turn. Trendsetter is 4th between horses. Exhibition Only is 5th toward the inside. Confessional broke well, but is now 6th outward from the rail. About 5 lengths off the lead around the first turn. Mr. T is 7th in between horses. I Did is in the 8th position, and Ramblin' last of the 9. Onto the backstretch they go. Corona de Oro leads 23.68 seconds the time for the opening quarter. Corona de Oro leads at 3/4 of a length. The Hell We Did is 2.5 length. The Zoom is 3rd up on the outside. Trendsetter 4th by a head. Confessional is 5th on his outside. And then Mr. T, I Did on the outside of that one. Exhibition Only back toward the rail. And Ramblin' is last as they head off the end of the backstretch. 47.92 seconds the time for the first half mile. Corona de Oro is the leader, only by a neck. The Hell We Did starts to draw alongside. Confessional gears up, has to go wide. 3 wide around the far turn, tries to zero in on the top 2. Trendsetter moves up the rail in 4th. A Zoom has lost ground and is dropping back through the pack as they come past the quarter pole. Corona de Oro to the inside. The Hell We Did is there. Trendsetter looks for some running room at the top of the short stretch. Confessional is still 6 lengths away in 4th. I Did is 5th. They turn for home. The Hell We Did. Trendsetter Trendsetter, stacking up to the outside of Corona de Oro. Trendsetter coming to the 16th pole, unleashing a rally on the outside for Kazushi Kamura.
32
it
to
is
1.
Trendsetter to the lead. It is Trendsetter to spring the upset, winning the Stone Street Lexington.
32 to 1. Sweet.
First of all, he didn't call him Izum, which is funny.
Yeah, Azum.
And he did look like he eased them. That was not good.
That was not good.
So just to give people a sense right now of what the dogwood room, nice job, Gary. What the dogwood room in Keeneland right now is like is absolute stunned silence. There is not one person making a sound. Heads are sitting there like this. People are looking back to see, what the odds were or where they finished. The odds of anyone having that horse in the tournament. And by the way, Ryan, yes, noted that I would have adjusted your bet to be a $500 win bet. So that's 16.5 you would have just collected on that. And we'll see if I was right or wrong about the next race. But
we'll all go on the 6 anyway.
But at
if I have to win.
But at 32 to 1, well, you won't even have to do that. At 32 to 1, it's just such a huge number. We'll see. But that's going to be just a devastating end for a lot of people who were hoping to just get through with one of the favorites, trying to pick up some odds into the last race. And they're now just going to be watching this last race. Yeah. This is also going to be a very confusing leaderboard to follow because so many people had doubles that are dead and it doesn't show that. And so this sort of a horse is not going to decimate the leaderboard right away. I think there are going to be a lot of live doubles. And so, yeah, we'll see what happens. But I would say anyone who, and it's not that it's amazing. I'm not patting myself on the back for this. I did not predict a long shot, but this is why we talked about before. This is why you wait for the last race to see what you need, because my guess is the path forward just got way cleared out in front of you in a way you couldn't have possibly been expecting. And what it's now going to take, if you've got a few grand to make some real damage here, it's not going to take a lot because people just got crushed in this last race. And so, again, if you skipped it just waiting for better info, here's the info you were waiting for. That was a pretty good one.
Yeah, no doubt. That was a money back special race, depending on what ADW you used. So my $20 did go on the 8 there. So that was
holy cow.
So not 500, but still a good day. So we'll go ahead and sit on that.
That's huge. That did knock me out of the pick 6, by the way, predictably.
Oh shit. We should have conferred. I would have told you to toss the 8 in. And I cannot take all the credit for the 8. Mikey P on our show this morning gave a heads up to that horse, and it made me go do a deeper dive, watch a couple of those replays and works, and Ben Colebrook, time and time again, he has his horses primed and ready for this spot. And we talked about this race. This was the hardest race to approach on the card, and the 8 was not my top pick. The 8 wasn't even a horse I thought about till this morning, and it was that kind of race where a Sunland horse runs in second, a horse that has never run above a 67 buyer on the dirt wins the race. I mean, it was that kind of race. The 2 favorites were absolutely nowhere. We'll bring Howard back in as he is in the dogwood room, experiencing what I have to imagine is shock and awe.
Oh, that's the rich strike look.
That is the rich strike.
So, I really wanted to avoid this race, Matt. I hated this race. This is not redboarding. I didn't want to play this race. I even said on the show Thursday, anyone had the 8. Look, it's horse racing, man, but on paper,
he did.
This horse isn't even a great closer. The problem is well, that's amazing. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Crazy. It's ridiculous.
It's the second long shot on the board. So what I did is I did 1, 9, 10. I really don't want to say how I'm doing the last race right now, but I did 1, 9, 10. The 3 chalks. The problem is the 10 can't pass anyone. He's just bad. The 9 didn't break, and the 1 who was a spot play, Matt, I thought ran incredible, but I didn't love the horse. So that was just a weird race. Now, I'll tell you one person who was very happy in the room. One person was very happy, and it's in our family. Brad Anderson did not have the. He didn't have the 8, but he skipped the race, Matt, which could be huge for him.
That's
right?
what we talked about. Fantastic.
Right.
Fantastic.
By the way, our buddy Paul is out. A lot of people just went out there. And Matt, you brought up a great point. And Ryan, you guys, both of you. The board's not going to look. The leaderboard is nowhere close to what it's going to be at the end here because there's hidden doubles, me included. Now I'm way down the list, but without hitting that race, that's actually the best situation for me, for sure. I still have $2,700. That's not like $100. I have $2,700. I don't know what my target's going to be because I'm going to see what the leaderboard looks like. But again, I'm going to. I can't win this thing realistically. I mean, I could play a straight try, but if I can get an NHC seat, that'd be nice, like top 13. BC top 6, I think is going to be very hard, Matt and Ryan, because I think my opinion is going to be popular with a lot of other people. The question is, how aggressive, Matt, are the, let's just say, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th players going to be to try to get to Christian Helmer's? I'm trying to refresh the leaderboard here. It's going to take a little bit to refresh. But, Matt, how aggressive? It's a pretty flat structure here. So I don't I think I'm going to still have to get, if I want top 6, I'm going to have to get to, 14. I just don't think I can do that with 27. I'm going to shoot for an NEC seat here and try to get my good buddy Patrick Hunzel to Vegas along with me next year because he does have a small piece of my entry here, guys. Any quick thoughts? And when we refresh the leaderboard, I'll stay on it. I'll shut up. I'll let you guys talk, Matt and Ryan. But when the leaderboard refreshes, it's probably with a long conversation, as there's still about 9 minutes opposed to oaklawn, looks like us.
Yeah, so let's wait for that to update, and we'll see what kind of an effect that has. So this is through race 9. Yeah, it's not even worth talking about yet. Let's just see what it looks like. We'll have to see what kind of cash shows up. We're not going to see up arrows. This is only going to be down arrows. So let's.
If you guys want to mute me, if you want to mute me, go ahead.
Okay. Very much so. It is so. I love it. It is so fun doing shows with friends where you can talk like this. I mean, could you imagine doing this with people where you had to be a little more formal or a little less familiar?
Oh, it'd be awful.
It would be awful. This is so much better.
Oh, Matt, I don't like doing this sort of thing because I don't like red boarding or doing whatever it is. But as we were getting ready for the race and the race approached us, I had spoken about how I hated the 9, hated the 10 in here. I was going to just say, play it for fun little super box 1, 7, 8, 11. I got locked out of playing it. I forgot that they were at the post. It paid $5,000 for 50 cents.
Okay, so do me a favor. For the rest of your life, never play another superfecta box. We'll call it even.
This was the only race that it made any sense to because I thought it was just, one of those races. But that being said, ridiculous outcome in here. I will never play one again trying to chase that because that won't happen.
We are being chided by the chat who told us about Expensive Queen and we didn't listen. Correct. Guilty. Yep. Sorry. I'll do better next time. Nice pick. No question.
Wrapping it up, it paid $66.68. The show on The Hell We Did paid $7.38. Some good payouts, obviously, all the way around. Kazushi Kimura also out from the West Coast. West Coast jockeys doing well. Flavian Pratt with the dead heat. I don't know if you want to count him as a West Coast jockey anymore, but that's 2 for Kazushi, both at massive prices, and 1 for Juan Hernandez today. So, hey, I love to see it.
So I'm doing right now, as we're waiting for Howard's leaderboard, I'm doing a quick check of the couple tournaments I'm in on Twin Spires. Still in first in one, still in third in another. I think that spot is safe as well. Stephen Craig, Robert Segura, who's been on fire, Henry Carson, a bunch of people doing well. So let's get back to that other bigger leaderboard for the bigger tournament and see if it's updated yet. Still not yet.
I will. Yeah, it doesn't look like it yet. Not yet, but currently Christian Helmer still on top with 30K. Andy Asaro, 22.8 thousand. JK, 15,300. That's your top 3 as it stands right now. Obviously, we got to wait for some updates. We got to see what's going on. And you guys have both mentioned correctly so. The leaderboard can be very misleading going into this last race. I would have to imagine Matt Helmers is probably sat. Maybe he's made a little bit of a minimum play, but I can't imagine he has done anything. Asaro maybe in the same boat. He's gotten all of his minimums out of the way. I don't know.
He's sharp as heck, and I think I can picture him making a more eloquent push to win than I would. I could picture him, taking $4,000 and saying, "Let me see what I can do with this," and I'm fine sinking $4,000 if I have to. I tend to be a little bit more of a loony, looking to shove every bit of ammunition I can find. But I do think a few, and JK in third, I know wants to win. I know he does.
Oh yeah.
So, I do think there will be some people going for first, and I do think there will be others. Frankly, it's going to be harder for the others to figure out what they need, because this board is going to be so confusing once this updates. Because I'm just going to pick a name like I'll pick on my friend Paul Matisse. For all I know, he Dutched $12,000 of doubles there. Well, it's still going to say he has $12,000. And so what do you do with that?
So I don't mean to talk over you. Real quick, pick 6 payouts are on the screen. The 1 and 2 will carry it.
Okay.
Again, and there is about 800,000 in the pool. So the 1 and 2 extremely unlikely. 42 to 1, 30 to 1 to 1.
I did have the 1, which is crazy. So I guess I'm rooting for that one. I had the
absolutely root for the 1. That would be a pick 6 carryover somewhere in the neighborhood of $700,000 going into tomorrow's Sunday, where everything can key around gratefully. So even money right now on the 6 in the last race. That was kind of the horse I would be that I had singled in my now very defunct light pick 6. However, Matt, you're alive for 5 out of 6 to which horses?
1, 4, 6, 7, 8, 11.
So all of those for the 5 out of 6 payouts. Obviously, I think I got to cheer for the 1, because if that's the case, I mean, we get you cash a ticket and we get a triple pick 6 carryover.
Honestly, you can make fun of me all you want. I want nothing more than these horses coming down the stretch to scream, "Here's Johnny."
Now, this is one of those times where I really wish Pete Aiello was on the call.
Oh yeah, I mean, I
love Kurt Becker. But Pete Aiello has that. He would have broken the mic yelling, "Here's Johnny."
I want Jack Nicholson in all his prime with full psycho. Here's Johnny. I mean, I want it crazy. So 5 to 2 is not too bad. West End Kid, though, I think is the horse that's been getting so much buzz that, I'll tell you that it's interesting. If I'm Andy Asaro in second, I'm just betting all of that to win on the 6. And I'd probably on the side have $10,000 to win on the 4.
Yeah.
And I think that's a pretty easy, my guess is Christian's not going to have that much. He's going to do something to move the bar, is my guess. JK, I don't know that he can afford a win bet on West End Kid. If he likes Here's Johnny, I would do the exact opposite of what I just said. I'd be betting that one to win and West End Kid on the side. It's the people below them that I think it gets much tougher to figure out what they're targeting, what they're doing. We've got law student Charlie Freeman and friend of the show in the chat. He loves Here's Johnny.
Here's Johnny.
Gave that horse out. I watched that show. Has some cold paces today. Could be all right. We'll see.
I got to say,
you're not. Go ahead.
Sorry. When doing my handicapping this morning, what is wrong with the 1? There's absolutely nothing wrong with the 1 here. I mean, has been against maiden optional claimers, I guess, but those last 2 speed figures absolutely fit. You drew well. You get Gerardo Corrales. He's a Kentucky guy. He rides out here. He knows the course. I mean, I think there's been crazier things. Now, Here's Johnny obviously makes a lot of sense. That being said, Ray Handel is not great first-time Lasix. Past year, he's 2 for 20. 1 for 20. That's nothing, to write home about. I think the 6 is that horse that's just taking so much money because of a trouble running line, and that's West End Kid. Gets blinkers on. Now, the trouble was significant. We're going to go to Oaklawn in just a second as they're loading into the gate for race number 9, maiden special weight.
Jazzman goes in. Titan
So
King
yeah, I'll
coming
continue
up.
the thoughts after Matt Dinnerman completes us with
Two back
the
behind the
load
gate.
and the live
Echo
call.
Bayou.
I'm going to just kill time talking and then try
Then
and
to
time
outside,
the
Munnings
time it
challenge.
once
No, I'm
again.
gonna
But
take
we'll
the
see.
favorite.
Oh, you're going
If
to
I
take
can
it. Go.
get video, if I can get video up, I'll take this
Here's
one. But I'm
Munnings
looking at
challenge.
the circle of death at the moment.
We're ready to
We're
go.
ready to go. And Laroff.
That wasn't
Munnings
bad.
challenge on the far outside, broke beautifully, takes advantage, goes right to the lead. Echo Bayou in second, Jazzman to the inside of him, a length back to Double Sense. The Chestnut running in fourth. No more Kings in the fifth spot with Titan King. They're 4 clear of PR the Holy Man and Extremist as they head down the back stretch. Munnings challenge is going to concede the lead with a half mile to go.
2 to
And
5.
Jazzman, the first time starter,
Ooh.
kicking on with it. Echo Bayou alongside, and Munnings challenge in a good spot, third, 3 wide, coming back on again already as they go into the far turn. Gap of 2, Double Sense creeping in. 4
That 22
wide,
flat pace
closer.
wasn't
Double
fast
Sense
enough
rounding
for him.
the turn.
He just wanted to
more
push it
Clearly
Kings
not.
behind the leaders right now. Length and a half to Titan King. 4 more to PR the Holy Man. Extremist has given way as they hit the quarter pole. Munnings challenge clear on the lead. Double Sense is following him. They're 1-2 now coming off the turn. Echo Bayou behind in third. Jazzman's been swallowed up as they come down the lane. Munnings challenge asked for more now
Nine's
by
gotta
Jose
finish.
Ortiz. It
That's a
gives away
horse.
to a 2.5 length
That's
lead.
a horse.
Double Sense running well on debut, but he's unfortunate to run into a buzzsaw today. That is Munnings challenge with a 16th to go. He's straight and strong, clear by 4, and coming home strong here in the final 16th. Munnings challenge coasts in. Nice horse. Double Sense second.
Good
No
old
more Kings.
funny number exact,
Third.
6'9" or 9'6".
Nothing funny about that.
He did encounter.
Not anymore, I guess. 6'7's taking that over. But okay, going back to the last race out at Keeneland. Real quick, we left off on the 6 West End Kid.
We
Go ahead.
just updated. The board just updated.
Oh, let me throw it up
And-
here.
Yeah, this boy, is this going to be hard. So Christian bet a little bit. $1,700 out of his 30 grand is not irresponsible. I know that guy. He knows the value of moving the bar up. I think that's a smart play despite losing. Andy Asaro did lose maybe $1,000. It looks worse than it is. So I don't think that's a bad loss either. Okay. We
Look at
said
that.
no one was going to move up. Here's the one guy that moved up. Holy cow.
What a play. 100 to win on the 8 and an exacta box for $600. The 111.7 and the 8 paying 13 grand, and he moves into 4th place. David Kramer up 156 spots.
And the guy above him in 3rd also hit. So, I mean, look, I guess that's what happens when you're in with 300 people. I guess when 300 of the best handicappers in the country get together, it is possible that 2 will have a 30 to 1 shot. Although I'm looking, Sean, no bets there. So, okay. So the bottom line is this. We kind of know what the people 1st through 4th have. What we don't know is what JK did in the last race or any of these other people. And so as we're about to start giving advice to Howard about where I would take my pitching wedge and try and land it in between these people, my advice is going to be based on what he's trying to do. I would say get to 13 grand. That's
I would think so.
Howard. I did your audio just go on? Can you hear me?
Yeah. So Matt, the leaderboard updated. David Kramer, unbelievable, by the way. Anyway, who moved up to 4th.
And John O'Brien, he also had a big move.
Yeah.
The guys in 3rd and 4th. Holy cow.
So, okay, let's do some live opinions here because I have 2,700. So the big question is, what do I need to get to get in the top? Top 6 is 14 grand. And that's, again, I don't think the people at the top are going to have hidden money, Matt and Ryan. I think some people in between me to like 15. Would you agree with that, Matt? Okay. So but I think a lot of those people are going to sit. I mean, Helmut's got an $8,000 lead. I don't know. So I need to get, to me, top 10 is 11.5. I'm going to say I need to get to 12 or 13. You agree with that, Matt?
Love it. 12. We were just starting to get to that. We had just talked through all the reasoning that you briefly just went through. I'm completely with you. pull out the sand wedge, and land the thing right in the range of 12 to 13 grand. All
right. So I got 2,700. The exact I'm looking at right now, and I have a feeling it's going to change. The exact that I'm looking at is somewhere around 6, 7, 8 to 1. I have to assume it's going to go down. Let's say it's 6 to 1 at 2,700. That gets me that gets me to 16.2. And that's let's see, I'm trying to think now. That's mine, but I got to subtract the 2,700 that I bet, right? That's what I'm going to have in my pocket. Is that what I'm going to have in the pocket? Sorry, I don't know why I'm confused. Okay.
You're getting your bet back. It's not winnings, but you're going to get the money back, obviously. So
16.2 plus the 27. No, not plus the 27. No.
What odds are you assuming?
6 to 1 times 2,700 is 16.2.
Right. So it's that times 7. That's what you'll be getting back.
It's what times 7? So the 16.2. Do I have to add the 2,700? I bet. No.
Yes.
No. I'm just.
That's what I would have. That's what I would finish with 16.2. Correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I think that'd be enough.
I do too.
The other option, Ryan, is I could play tries. The problem with it, with the exacta that I have, the problem is you don't know what tries are going to pay, number one. And number two, if the 11 gets third, it's real chalky. I mean, I could sort of Dutch the tries, right? But you don't know what's going to pay. And that's just dicey. I'm just thinking maybe just going forward with the exacta. And if I'm not in the top 10, then I still am having a positive day, but I'd leave the putt short, Matt. I don't know, Matt. Brian, this is tricky.
This, to me, I don't like the 11 at all. This is not something Chad is good at. This is not something he does. He does not take horses to debut at Keeneland going long on the grass. He's done it twice in 5 years with no winners. Only one of those two is finished in the money, and it was the third. And so this for a guy like Chad, who's a prolific turf trainer with these high purse maiden races. This is not something he does, and his horses have both been bet each time he's done it. So I like the exacta play because you can see what it pays. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if the 11 is your top pick in here. I know Matt loves
my concern with it. Yeah, sorry, Ryan, I didn't want to jump on you. I'd rather not give my opinion right now what I'm actually doing. But my concern is the play I'm making, man, Ryan, is similar to what a lot of people are going to do that are above me. And I'm going to be left short, even though I'm going to be 16. You know what I'm saying, Matt? Like, I think a lot of people are going to do what I'm going to do. So I don't know.
I don't know what they've got left. I know it's hard. I would just try my best to focus on that number. And if you can get to 13, I'd say you've done a real good job of putting yourself in a good spot here. There's no guarantees, but I think you would be silly to target something higher. You wouldn't even know what you're targeting. It's tough to tell, and it's tough to know if those people are going for it.
He wants to know
if you land on 13 grand and it doesn't pay.
It was on the email. He sent out an email, Chris. Sorry, we're talking about. Where are you, Chris? I know, Chris. Are you done?
I got 5,700.
Oh, Chris Couples has 5,700. He's very much in the mixer too. Brad's got 10,000, by the way, Matt. So our family is still very much in the mix here.
Oh yeah,
without a doubt. The exact is holding at the spot, but Ryan, isn't this exact price going to go down as people start making big bets at the end here?
I don't know what exactly you're looking at. I'm not going to speculate because I know you want to keep your picks until they're out of the gate. But if I was my strongest opinion in this race would be a 6/4 exacta for myself. I would play that because I think that is the result that's going to happen. I would toss the 11 completely. I think the 11 is just taking money because it's Chad and Pratt and Juddmonte. Now, if you're in a contest situation and you play that exacta too, then I would understand because money talks, especially in these maiden races. But 6/4 for me, and if that's not enough, it's not enough. I don't think I would have the combo that would get me.
Yeah,
to
I will tell everyone I'm playing. I'll just stay on air if you guys want through the race here. Again, I don't want to say what I'm playing. I will say, and Brian, you bring up an excellent point. There's obviously Chad money, But this is 2-1. This is some pretty heavy money coming in. If he was like 7-2, it'd be like a complete no bueno. He's taking money at 2-1 into the strength of two pretty good horses with the 4 and the 6. There's signal and noise here, Matt, that makes this very difficult for me.
So let's do something that we've talked about before. I don't want to look at the will pays with the gosh darn 8. Those numbers aren't good numbers because that 8 was this flukish long shot. And so you see a lot of variance. So I'm now going back to race 10 and I'm looking at the 3 favorites and seeing who got bet in the doubles under those 3 favorites. That's going to be far more instructive than whatever the hell they pay with the 8. And as I'm looking, 4, 6.
And the 11 is the clear third choice. I think the money's going to float up. I think the 11's going to float up. Don't you think, Matt?
I do. I think the 11's coming up, and I think the others are going to stay where they're at. Maybe go down a teeny bit. Maybe.
Yeah.
I could see 9-5, 8-5, 2-1 in that range. But I do think the 11 is going to go up a little bit.
You know what, guys? I'm going to do this. And I will say the pick at the end is they're loading. I'm not going to try to read through these odds. I'm going to go with what I had planned on from the very beginning of the day here. To be very honest, I would have preferred to put a win bet on one horse. But because the double blew up, I can't do that now. So I'm just going to go with the straight exacta, guys. And I will tell everyone what it's going to be at the end of the, right when they're about to break. And I'm just going to hope that it's enough. And if it's not enough, Matt, it's still a positive day for myself and Patrick. And maybe we get an NHC seat. And I would call it a successful weekend. So that's something I'm going to do.
Totally agree.
I'm about to punch it. Go ahead. If you guys want to talk more about the race, feel free.
Yeah. And look, the strategy Howard just landed on, this is not a criticism of Howard. And Howard, I'm not directly talking to you anymore. I'm now talking more to just the screen. It's not a criticism of Howard. That is not a plan I would have recommended going into this contest. But as things evolve and as a leader gets away and your main opinions start losing and you're scrambling a bit, right? Sometimes you change your goal. Sometimes you change your objective. And if that old objective is just too far away, what the hell's the point of throwing away a few grand, just taking a random stab? So I think what Howard's doing is infinitely more sensible. But again, it's intentional and it's thought out. It's not chickening out. It's none of those things. It's just making the best assessment he can for where he's at.
So I'm watching the screen right now. The 11 is pulling Flavien Prat around this racetrack right now and is tossing his head. He looks very wired, geared up. I mean, he is going. The price currently 2-1, 2-1 on the 6, 5-2 on the 4. So 3 go ahead.
No, I'm sorry, Ryan. Go finish your thought.
I was just going to say 3 co-favorites. If you have a strong opinion between the 3, then absolutely you kind of have to press one. Again, Howard, I don't need your exact play here. My opinion on this race is the 1 is being overlooked as a horse who has run 2 competitive speed figures. I think that horse can absolutely get into the money. And then your point on the 11 where signal and the noise and is taking money, 5-2 on Pratt and Chad right now. That's not in a maiden race where I get the love on the 6. I get the love on the 4. It looks like the 11's kind of settled down now as they've shown him he's going back towards the turf course here. I don't know. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, if I'm correct, Ryan, if my exacta doesn't go down too much, even if it does go down a little bit,
yeah,
we're talking about a finishing total for me of somewhere around this.
Yeah,
which probably is top 10. It might not be though, but it is what it is. I don't want to play tries. I'm just going to play that. So Matt, at the lowest, I'd probably be around there. I don't know if that's going to be good enough for top 10, to be very honest, but I don't think there's much else I can do here unless I want to try to really go nuts and play trifectas. But I have very strong opinions on the horses I'm going with, and I'm just going to go for it. So, Jim Goodman's making the announcement.
They're crossing over to the turf course right now. Something tells me that there's a few hidden doubles in here as well. Seeing as two people moved up with the, maybe not a few, maybe two to the favorites.
So, can you guys hear me?
Oh, Matt, you're still muted.
Matt, you're muted though. Okay. So the top 20 there is prizes, but it's like 1,800. Where does it go to 30? It switches to 3,000 for the prize pool. You guys have that in front of you? It was emailed. It should be in that link, I would assume.
I do. Hold on, I'm gonna have to.
Let me see here.
Loading into the gates.
Yeah, I think I've got it, guys. Let me see here.
Did you say they're
put
loading?
the audio on because they're loading in.
They are loading.
Star medal goes.
Okay, guys, here we go. Ready? Ryan, not because you said it. I'm going 6-4, guys.
Star and now
all right.
Soul Man.
Let's get it home. 64.
That's what I would do. That's what I would do.
Here's
Good luck, Brad. What do you need? Brad, what do you need?
Here's Johnny.
What do you need?
11 or 6 on top.
What do you need?
High honors. Sharon's Angels.
Doing the whole thing? Or?
Coordinator.
Brad can get to 35, guys, if he's right here, and win possibly in the whole thing.
Going in, they're at the post.
Whiskey.
Johnny. They're off. Sharon's Angels ducked out at the start, and Coordinator had to go wide in the opening strides. In the meantime, up front, headed for the first turn. It's going to be High Honors. He's going to move on by for the early lead. Slides over next to the rail, opens up by 2 lengths here, but now has company. West End Kid is going to move up, wants to move forward, and is just off the leader's flank now in that forwardly placed second position as High Honors shows the way around the first turn. Star Medal is traveling toward the back of the pack now, has to drop all the way out to the back. Pin Star moves up the inside into third. There goes Sharon's
Guys,
Angels.
I like where I'm at right now, actually.
3 wide around the first turn. West End Kid is still pretty keen to move up and challenge High Honors for the lead. Sharon's Angels third up on the far outside. Pin Star is in fourth. Here's Johnny right toward the center of the pack, is in the 5th position at the midpoint of the backstretch. Soul Man is 6th on the outside. Star Medal 7th back toward the inside. Coordinator is 8th in between horses as they head for the far turn. Terre Haute last of the 9. 22.86 for the quarter, 47.16 seconds for the opening half mile. Onto the turn they go. It is High Honors with the lead. West End Kid draws alongside the leader. Top 2 separated by just ahead. Midway on the far turn. Pin Star tries to.
Come on, here's Johnny. Get second.
Front pair.
Here's
Johnny is in the 4th position. Still running 5 lengths off the lead. Soul Man.
Go past this 5, please.
He's still toward the back.
Come on, Johnny.
Come on, here's Johnny.
Here's Johnny.
From High Honors. Here's Johnny. Is in 3rd.
Stay like that.
Is still in the 4th position. Looks for more running room in between horses.
Stay like that.
Behind West End.
Hold off that 11.
Johnny second.
Hold off that 11.
Down to the wire. West End Kid.
Yes.
West End Kid.
Go all in with that one?
All in.
Here's Johnny was home second. It was Coordinator third to be a photo to separate
go.
4th and 5th.
Nice.
Let's effing go, baby.
Nice. Nice. Nice.
Now I gotta assume other people have that. I think that's good for Brad. I don't know. Oh, not good for Brad. Oh no, Ryan, 6-4, baby.
6-4.
You know what, Matt?
By the way,
I don't know if
Matt-
it's gonna be good enough for 10th. I am damn proud of myself on the backup situation. I played I was waiting for this last race. I got lucky, obviously. West End Kid, by the way, tip sheet play of the day, Matt. Obviously, odds not gonna 9 to 5, nothing to flex about.
It's fine.
Ryan, I couldn't agree with you more. I didn't want to say it live, to be very honest. Just out of fairness to people that might be watching or playing, whatever. Totally agree with you. I didn't like the works of the 11 at all coming into this race. I didn't like the post. You could say he ran okay, but he lost by, this is a Chad Flavian Judmont horse who lost by 6 lengths. I mean, and could have gone by the 4 in the stretch and didn't. Again, I don't know what the chat looks like, guys. I don't know what this is going to be. Top 10. It's by far my best Grade 1 Gabble finish ever, no matter where it is. Pat's going to end up having a nice day after we had a disastrous day on the side, actually. And what is this for you, Chris? It's up
5,400 on the winner.
So where are you going to finish? Chris Couples had a $5,400 win bet on the 6. What is this going to take you to?
Not sure. I'm gonna take
About ballpark.
16.
No, a total. 5,400.
14 maybe.
So 5,400 times 1.8 approximately. So you won 97.20-ish. So 15, 16. So Chris Couples and I are going to be about in the same ballpark. Great job, Chris.
Great job.
The dead heat costs him. It costs a lot of people. Let me see what the exact. I hope it didn't go down, guys, as it could have. As I'm sorry.
I'm showing 5 on my.
That's what I was worried about, guys. That's what I was worried about. It was showing 7 something the whole way. I just thought about it now. Gosh darn it. It says 5. It's not. Well, it's 5 and change. Gosh darn it. Well, again, whatever. I had no choice, man. I did what I did. I really don't think I had much of a choice. I mean, my exacta didn't move it down. And other people's exactas. Just making sure I had it. I do. 2873. Well, if it's 2873 times 5, doing the math, times 5. That's here, Matt. Where is it? Here we go, guys. That's times 5. That's without the change. I'm going to have somewhere in the range of high 14s, guys. I don't think that's going to be enough for top 10, but it's a positive day. And maybe in NHC, probably not.
It would put you about 7th right now before they update the board.
Guys, I was all about the 6 today. I absolutely love the 6. It was a tip sheet play. I love the replay. I was coy about it a little bit during the week, all due respect. Except I wasn't, Matt. It was my play of the day. So I really wasn't. I keep it honest with everyone. We'll see. I don't, if people play doubles, this is going to be interesting.
Dave Duncan.
My guess, if I had to guess, Matt, I'd say I'm going to finish like 16th or 17th and get a small prize and no seat. That'd be my guess.
Dave Duncan is predicting about $5.68. So the 68 would help quite a bit.
Oh, wait. Oh, 5.68 on the double.
Yeah. On the exacta.
Okay. Sorry, a little bit of a spill here at the tail. I think everything's okay. Strangely enough,
Chris is an asshole.
Wow. Okay, that was Amanda Couples. Who spilled something? Okay, on live YouTube. There we go.
We're live.
And by the way, Amanda's a sweetheart. Prefer to say that.
Yes, I am.
Chris is like a sailor.
Strangely enough, guys, maybe it's because I was celebrating. It didn't feel very loud in the room. But my guess is that previous race really hurt a lot of people and people started emptying out. And I don't know, Matt. It was bizarrely quiet in that last race.
I agree. And I don't want to sit here.
I'll say one other thing, Matt. And you know this better than anyone. I've had some ridiculous bad beats in last races in the last 6 months of contests. Without sounding like a complete arrogant a-hole, I sort of feel like I deserve to hit that one today. I really do. And you know better than anyone.
Well, deserve, I don't know, but you were due. There's no question.
I was due. That's a better way. I was due. You
had your share.
All right, the exacta paid 5. Sorry, the exacta paid 5.29. So we do the math. 5.29 times. Let me give the exact number here. It was a 2,873. So remember that 2,873. Let's see, 2,873 times 5.29. Is that what I said?
Yep.
15.2.
And right now,
it's not going to update for a little bit. It's not going to update for a while.
That would put you in 7th. So let's just see. And the fact that the room wasn't loud is good. And look, I'm not trying to embarrass you, but I'm going to take the over on your prediction. I think you're going to do a little better than you think.
If I get top 10, that would be unbelievable, man. To get a BC seat, I'd be really happy. I don't think it's going to happen, but we'll see. By the way, the C11 got 3rd. I wouldn't have had that. I mean, I would have had to pound that. I actually liked the 8. To be very honest, I would have played 1-8 in 3rd, and then more at the 11. So Ryan, I would have done 6-4 with 1-8, Dutch with 6-4-11. You know what I mean? So Dutch tries. But again, you're guessing, right? I don't know what it would have paid. You'd have to be guessing at that point. So we'll figure out if you have. So I think it's going to be this. You have 10% of that as part of the contest plus whatever else. ended up for the day, man.
I should be right at 16.
I bet you. How hilarious would it be if Chris Couples sitting across me gets 6th in the BCBC? I get 7th.
Oh God, 6, 7.
Matt, can you tell the fans and viewers and listeners about this weight and how that feels?
Yeah, it's absolutely excruciating. Even if you're Christian Helmers in first, and no one feels safe. No one knows what anybody did. Frankly, to be a part of a friend group is helpful because you can at least say to each other, what did you guys do now that this is over? So otherwise, you're just kind of sitting there waiting. I don't want to bash on any particular place, but Twin Spires in general updates their leaderboards lightning fast. This particular platform, which is also used for the Breeders' Cup and other tournaments, it just takes longer. And I don't know if that's feeds from the ADWs. I don't know if they're doing a quick audit.
Okay, guys, can I interrupt, Matt?
Yeah.
This is my exact final total. Can you guys see that on the top there? Hold on, sorry.
Nope.
Matt,
to your point.
Can you see it on the top, guys? The exact final total there?
Yeah. Well, now it's gone.
It went away. Sorry, it's 15,703.
Perfect.
15,703. Chris, what do you finish with? Chris finished with 16,008. I had 15,700. So Chris is ahead of me about 300. Great job, Chris. Awesome job. Nice job, man. We sure did.
Matt, I will.
You know what? Hey, man, let me ask you guys a question. Pure speculation. If the 1 had actually beat the 10 outright in that dead heat, I actually think that would have been better for me. What do you think? I know, I understand, but the question is, if the second choice won that race instead of the chalk, how do you think that would have been, or is it way too hard to say?
It's too hard to say, but I think there are people like Chris Couples that bet the heck out of that horse,
right?
And really had their odds chopped hard. And so my sense is if the 1 had won, that would have been bad for you.
But I'll tell you what was good, because I didn't have doubles into that race and I played exactas. Because I had the exacta both ways, I actually wasn't really affected by that.
Agreed.
Right? So that was luck.
Yeah.
By the way, great ride by, was it Tyler on the 6?
Yep.
Yes.
Here's Johnny didn't break well. I actually thought Here's Johnny ran pretty well off the layoff. I did talk to Ray Handel, ladies and gentlemen, who was here in this room earlier today. He felt pretty confident. He thought the horse was working well. I don't care that's 9 to 5, 9 to 5. It's so hard to hit a straight exacta at Keeneland and turf. I'm not saying give me applause. I'm just saying I got lucky. But even with the 2 chalks in a big turf field and mains, it's hard to hit that, guys. It's just hard.
It is, without a doubt. Hitting an exacta in any race in any form is a hard thing to do. To Ray Handel's point,
I'm good. Thank you, sir.
He ran into a horse that I think was much the best last time. Got blinkers on, was more forward, and still had that same closing kick. And it's really tough to beat that. And I think Here's Johnny's run a lot of really good races.
I think our dinner is 7:30, guys. I'm sorry. Hey, can you mute me for a second, guys? Just for a second, thank you. It's 7.
All right.
It's hard to hit a straight exacta no matter what you do, but Ray Handel's horse ran great. I think it was just clear he was the 6 ran to the trouble that he had and ran through that this time and didn't get trouble. I think it was clear the 4 was the second best horse, and I think things sometimes play out that way. I'm still refreshing the leaderboard. Haven't seen any updates yet.
I mean, the year I won the BCBC, this isn't a joke. It was like 25 minutes. And
so
it's just excruciating. You have no idea. And you're looking at all these names of the best players in the world. And you're like, it's not that I walk around intimidated by them, but at the same time, they're capable of who knows what. So Howard did a great job. I mean, I like the way we talked about it, picking up that pitching wedge and hitting it exactly where he landed it in the exact spot on the green he was trying to hit. Yep. He wasn't going for the hole. He went for the right spot. Okay. It's a shame for him that one of our dear friends is barely ahead of him, By what are these hands? We're getting like mime signals from him.
Yeah, he's signaling.
First of all, I'm not sure Brad. I don't know if he's zeroed. I don't want to talk to him right now. I don't know what we'll find out.
Yeah.
I have one major regret today, and I want to hear your guys' opinion. The race that I went all in on one entry with that 2 and 7 map that you lost, I played doubles with the 1 and 3 into the next race, which I hit. Noble Confessor won. But if I did all in win bets on the 1 and 3 on my other entry, instead of like 5,000, I would have had like 12,000. That is a major regret. But in my mind, Matt and Ryan, it's hard for me to go all in with 2 horses in win bets that I didn't like. But I still regret it. Go ahead, Ryan.
Well, I was going to say, did you play the win bets and then cancel and play the doubles instead?
One more time.
So your initial play, did you have win bets in and then cancel those and play the doubles into Noble Confessor?
I never had win bets in the first place. It crossed my mind. No, it crossed my mind because why play doubles when if you are backing up that race with a 1 and 3, why not just send it in with all win bets and then you don't have to worry about the next race going forward? You know what I mean, Ryan? So
no, I know what you mean, but I mean, if you played what you had in your plan, you can't be. Don't beat yourself up for the plan because then you're just gonna always overthink yourself.
It's what I do well, Ryan.
I'm aware, but you played what you wanted, so and you're gonna finish. I mean, you finished with 15 grand. That's a great day.
Yeah, I know. It could have been
that gets you into the top 10, but either way. And
now, what's your thought? I mean, I didn't like the 1 and 3 in that race. It was a pure backup. To spend my entire bankroll on that other entry on win bets, I did minimums instead, and it ended up. And that second entry is the one that ended up getting to 15,000. So I guess I should be happy about that. Absolutely. But if I did win bets on the 1 and 3, I would have another, in theory, a lot more money. I just couldn't. To myself, saying, okay, if the 1 and 3 are backups, why am I spending an entire entry on 2 horses I don't like? Well, I guess we do that all the time. So I don't know.
We do that all the time. I can go right back into my own tournament history and find plenty of examples where my main play is on one ticket and 2 horses I don't like at all are on another, but you just have to protect your position. So
yeah,
we'll see. I've gotten an update from Brad that's not good. He was playing for the win and therefore could not afford all 3 horses he wanted in the last race. And as luck would have it, he left out the one he shouldn't have left out. So
Brad, did he zero out?
I'm pretty sure he zeroed out. Yeah.
Brad zero.
Real quick on the leaderboard, while I understand, like,
just got lucky last race.
I know Twin Spires has I know Twin Spires has the instantly updated leaderboard. I think that's mainly because they're literally tied into the ADW.
Right.
And then this one, because you can play from so many different devices, whether it's on site, whether it's ADW, I do understand the delay, but that doesn't make it any less agonizing for the player.
Yeah, it's not unfair. And it's every time. So like,
and there's another ADW that I won't mention that takes forever for no reason, but
I wouldn't know.
But all that to say, I mean, it doesn't make the wait any less agonizing. I'm still refreshing it. We are 3 minutes from the 10th at Oaklawn, which is the Grade 1 Apple Blossom. I got to say, we will have the audio on for that. So I'll take off the leaderboard here in just a second. I'm just going to hope that it updates prior to that. For anybody playing the Apple Blossom, give me Almond Joy. Give me the cow bread in that race, because why not? Crazier things have happened. Kazushi Kimura and Ben Colebrook won at like 40-1. So crazier things have happened. I think Howard is back. We'll take him off mute.
I'm just saying, I don't want to be. If you guys have to go, we can end the show. I don't.
We're going to go to the Apple Blossom.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to watch that, and we're going to keep an eye on this leaderboard. And when the leaderboard updates, unless it's in the middle of the race, we're going to come right back.
Okay, and I will talk for a quick minute, and I got to rush to dinner, actually. So, how are the numbers? I have no idea. Good, a lot of people watching. Positive numbers, Ryan. Good stuff.
3 digits the entire show. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Greatly appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed Ryan Yeoman's work. Appreciate it, man, subbing in. I know in terms of our family, I know Noah zeroed out. I don't know how.
Conquest Warrior, that race that most people got boned on. That would be the.
I got to tell you, Matt, I think, and I wish this wasn't the case. I think I'm the only family member here who, and Chris Couples. So Matt, what is the rule for the fireplace? This is not fireplace material, right?
No, I mean,
it's got to be more special than that.
It's a very subjective test, and for people who don't know,
there's
a really special fireplace room at Keeneland that, after Drew won the BCBC, it was just the most perfect spot for this great group picture. And then when Paul won the Grade 1 Gamble, they found themselves in the same room for a great group picture. I don't know, Howard. It takes something huge, in my opinion, to get to the fireplace, and we'll be thrilled for you with whatever, 8th, 9th, 10th, whatever it turns out to be. But I think fireplace has got to be like 1-2 kind of stuff.
That's a win.
I agree. All right. So again, appreciate everyone. By the way, who's your pick of the Apple Blossom? I like number 3, Regaled. Nitrogen obviously can win.
Nitrogen
I'm not sold.
3 to 5 right now.
3 to 5 is insane, Ryan. Insane.
I want the 5.
I'm getting 6 to 1 on Regaled. Hold on, guys. Now that I got a little cash, I think I need to bet this race. Oh, hold on, everyone. Number 3, Regaled. What 3? Go for it.
I want the 5 Almond Joy. It's a Calbred. It's out here. She's out here for who knows? I mean, her last 2 works. I'm good friends with one of the part owners of this horse, so I always got to root for him. So I'm gonna cheer for Almond Joy just to get a piece of it. She's already got graded stakes graded stakes black type.
Okay,
so
okay.
Ahead,
It's up. Forget the apple.
It's up. Okay, hold on. Don't say anything. Hold on. Let me look myself. You guys don't mind. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, not top 10. 13. Wait, what does that give me? Lucky number 13.
Well,
Chris finished 11. Missed the.
Hold on. There was 7th got DQ'd. It looks like.
Oh. Chris might got a BCC. There's a DQ.
2 DQs.
There's a DQ.
Third also got DQ'd.
Wait, 2 DQs?
3 and 7 both got DQ'd according to this list.
Chris, you're gonna get a BCC. There were two DQs. So how many 1 seat short at 11?
I believe so.
I'm sorry. This is twice I've done this now.
No.
I feel horrible for about 5 minutes.
So David Nichols is the winners, guys. David Nichols, who William McMillan moved up 160 spots. My goodness.
So he had a double 2-8 into the 6 that paid $28,000. Holy!
Our buddy Chris, who's right here, guys, finished 11th, but there are 2 DQs that would move him up to 9th, correct?
Yeah, in theory.
Which is a BCBC seat and 10K.
I want to be sure that the DQs are incorrect.
Okay, I don't know if you guys can hear what Chris said because you can hear it.
I think the DQs might not be correct. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's showing because they didn't meet their minimums.
I have been ice cold. Me and Noah could freeze out an Eskimo. And I have ended today successful, so I am tickled to death.
I'm trying to see what the.
It is showing that they did not hit their minimums. Is why
they did not reach their minimum, supposedly. I'm trying to see. Okay, prize pool, guys. So if I finish. Well, so guys, the cutoff for the next prize pool is 10. So whether I finish 11th or 13th, I get an extra $15.75. Okay.
Yep.
And I get a KDBCC, right? Yeah. It says 6 BCBCs, 10 NHCs, and 3 KDBCs. So I believe I get a KDBC, correct?
I would think so. I just don't know. If
triple fisted.
I don't know if they're giving all of those first, second, and third. You should listen to Jim Goodman.
Okay, they are in the gate for the Apple Blossom. I'm going to turn the audio on for the race.
Yeah. All right. And the Apple Blossom Handicap. Majestic Oops popped out of the gate, wastes no time, is close to the pace, now takes back. Blue Fire's going to stride out, is clear and getting all the way over to the rail from the outside post. So it's Blue Fire into the turn. To the fence and leads length and a half from 5G second. Majestic Oops between horses third with Nitrogen, who's scraping paint down on the inside. Claret Beret is deep, 4 pass off the rail, now level third, clearly taking that third spot from Nitrogen and Majestic Oops, who gets
4 to
shuffled
5
back.
on Nitrogen.
Fifth approach in the back stretch. Niratsuri about to join them in the 3 path. Gap of 2 lengths back to Dazzling Move. Enjoy outside of her, and 2 more to Regaled at the back as they head down the back stretch here. Blue
I'm in a contest with Jacko, and I bet on Nitrogen.
Neck in front, 5G in the second.
He's going to win if I lose.
Then comes Claret Beret going nicely, 3 wide a half.
Is this the last race of the contest?
Pair. Nitrogen, Jose Ortiz are now in the 2 path.
I got to go either way, so that's that.
Turn. Her stablemate Niratsuri is sent upon into that turn, and so is Majestic Oops as they corner into the turn. Dazzling Move third last. Regaled has passed Almond Joy, rounding the far turn. Here's Claret Beret up to challenge Blue Fire and 5G's. Claret Beret going to the lead now. In second, Blue Fire's been left behind. Nitrogen's launching a rally. Here she comes on the outside. Needs to catch Claret Beret, who's going
Joy, fly. Pick him up.
Claret Beret well off the rail and kicks her home. She comes off the corner with a 3-length lead. Nitrogen trying in second on the outside. Big space back to Blue Fire and Majestic Oops. 1 furlong to go. Claret Beret in front has 1 more 16th to go. A 3-length lead. Nitrogen can't get her. And Claret Beret has punched her ticket to the Breeders' Cup distaff. It's Claret Beret in the Apple Blossom has won it going away by 5. Nitrogen second. Majestic Oops.
I hope, now I'm not a trainer. I certainly don't train a good filly like filly or mare like Nitrogen. I hope they go back to the grass with her. I think we have seen her ceiling on the dirt.
Totally agree.
I would love to see her back on the grass.
I think he does.
All right, Howard, you're back.
So I'm going to step out, guys. I got to sign some papers and get to dinner. I believe I finished with the DQs. I believe I finished 11th, which is, look, I'm happy, but it's like 1 spot short of a BCBC is heartbreaking. But if I'm correct, I believe, because I think he said it pays down to 13 prizes, which would make sense. I think the top 10 get BCBC and NHC.
Terrific.
And then there's 3 more. They wouldn't get 3 different. So I think I get a 5,000 KDBC. Matt, I don't know how that's going to work. You know why, but I think it's going to work out. I'm going to get 5,000 there, and then 1575. So that's 6575 plus 15.7, 65, 22.2. I think it's about 22.2. So thank you, everyone.
Trip was worth it, huh?
I can't say I finished top 10 in the Grade 1 Gamble, unfortunately, but I can say top 15. Thanks, Amanda. So Chris and I, our family members, we finished 9th and 11th out of 300 players. Not bad. Feel awful for Brad, by the way. But anyway, he deserved to get something there. Guys, great job. I got to go. Hope I didn't. Oh, here's Brad.
Congrats, buddy.
Thanks, Brad.
Good job.
Appreciate it. The gentleman, as always, Brad, giving congrats. I don't know if you want to say anything, Brad. It's brutal for you, unfortunately, in the end there.
Smart.
I went for the win. I didn't want to settle for a prize, top 10. So, and if that 11 horse gets up, in the second place, I get 38,000. I'm talking another 70 on top of that. So.
Oh, so you hit the 611. You had it. It's so brutal. In a way, I wish he had hit, and I didn't, because I didn't.
Good to see you, buddy.
You got it, man. Good to see you,
always a gentleman. Thank you, buddy. Real classy, real classy move. Because you know that hurts.
That's his best shirt.
Ryan loves the shirt, by the way, Brad.
Very expensive lesson I learned Friday.
It's my master's shirt.
You very ashamed of me.
We've lost all control. What's going on?
Let me say this. We love our family. For someone to be right there and lose, and then be willing to come on here for a minute and explain himself, and that's the kind of person Brad Anderson is. So we love you, Brad. Thank you for doing that. I'm going to sign off. Great job, guys. Appreciate it. We'll talk to everyone next week. Thanks for watching the HHH Racing Podcast.
He's out. He's out. Get out of here.
All right. We have nothing else to talk about, really. We can recap real quick if you'd like, Matt.
Well, yeah, let's just wrap it up this way. I'll focus selfishly. It's funny. I didn't even look what that 5 out of 6 paid.
I can tell you right now.
I'm pretty sure I kept my position in those couple smaller Twin Spires contests. I did decide to take Jackson on at Oaklawn with nitrogen and loss, so he's going to win that one, I think.
How many horses did you have in the last race? So the second to last. Race 10.
Of which, where?
Of the pick 6. So the race you got knocked out on the 8.
Oh, I get you. Hold on. 2.
So it paid $305 for the consolation. So you'd have that twice, so $610.
Okay, so that's about what I think. Fine, whatever. So, okay. I mean, look, it wasn't the best day for me. It also turned out to not be a very big cash day when the tournaments are going and it's all fun. Okay. Yeah. There just didn't seem to present themselves good hedge spots, and that's okay. But the bottom line is we had a great time. We saw some good races. I actually think this was one of the better shows we've done from a strategy standpoint and trying to react to what people would do and whatnot. A little bit chaotic, but at the same time, hopefully people got something out of it. And yeah, great to see a couple buddies do well. And yeah, next year I got to join them. I can't. The dinner they're going out for tonight compared to the dinner I'm going out for tonight, it's not believable. They're both called dinner. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, normally I'd be there like I was last year with you guys. Decided to not go along with Jacko. We're taking that. Well, he's got a wedding or something silly. I just opted not to go because I'm going to the Derby next month. So can only make so many trips work, as you know better than anybody. So, hey, this was fun though.
We had a great time.
Got to share the screen on a Saturday, go through the Grade 1 Gamble, go through Keeneland, go through Oaklawn. Thank you guys for watching along on the HHH Racing podcast. We'll be back with our normal slew of shows this week. The leaderboard presented by Twin Spires, Wire to Wire. We'll be back now that Santa Anita is back in racing. That goes on Thursday. And then, of course, the typical slate of the Tuesday Pacific Horse Players. Myself as the co-host to Noah Maher, Jackson Muniz. Wednesday, we have betting and boozing. Thursday, picks and ponies. Go ahead, Matt.
Well, you're like going all through the important stuff. I didn't try to interrupt that, but thank you, Tom, for the nice comment.
Yes.
The unsolicited advice I'll give for the night, Yuri Prohachka is fighting in the main event of tonight's UFC fight. Just if you have any money on your sports apps, give this guy a look. The guy is going to absolutely demolish this person. Cannot wait to see it.
Parting gift or parting. Bob Segura asked, "What are you drinking, Ryan?" 4 Roses whiskey and a little bit of dragon fruit lemonade. It was absolutely phenomenal this entire show. This guy's drinking Diet Mountain Dew. That's basically a salad. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys next time on the HHH Racing Podcast.
Kravets. If you have not followed his Triple H Horse Racing podcast, you're missing out. It's one of the best podcasts in the country.